I want to be right.
What would Socrates say to that?
It tickles my fancy.
Okay.
Okay.
Goosies.
I don't have hair.
Oof.
You got Marcos.
That's not. No, that's not.
Wait.
Yeah,
That's true. You do got me.
Get over here, Marcus. Let me look at you.
I don't want it.
Tobin and Leroy, ready to deploy. Had to hit it with a little journalism, but that was a decoy. Better have about me, boy. Okay, Leroy and Tobin, hold to the show, man. Still to the stars with the show, and till then his half moon open. Sometimes go taste like a snowman. No proof, I'm a lie about a motor. No proof, like I always wanted him, I never hated him, I never traded him, and if I did, I never ever traded him. You don't know what is a star? Like under the city, the driver's side floor. Just a large, so many more, 10 in the more, never a bar. 8, 10 in the more, 2 to the P. Nothing to you, but it's something to me. Handsome as ever and cute as can be. You can watch it on YouTube with viewing for free. Ay. This one time for the Twitch. This one time for the text. This one time for the phone line. Whole time wondering what they gonna do next.
You know, I just wish you guys would stop the quibbling.
Not a true loss last night.
Well,
Not a true loss.
We've heard a turd quarter. Yesterday was just a turd.
Not a true loss, though. No Jaime Jaquez, no footwork. Not a true loss. Not worried about it.
All right.
Not worried about it. I know that I went on my whole tirade yesterday about how the Heat are going to win it all again or can win it all again. Raptors games, first of all, I mean, like, nobody wants to be there as it is. It's cold. It's Canada. You want to get home. And so the Heat, yes, they came out like fat cats. And Toronto just decided, we're not going to miss from 3. And it was going to be, what was it, 13-1 on 3-pointers in the first half. I mean, the Heat were down a gazillion points. It was 78-43 at the end of the first half. Not great.
Not great.
But also, no Jaime. Come on.
Did you guys go and get haircuts together?
We actually did each other's hair.
Yeah. Really good job. You did an excellent job, dude. Really well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
How would he know how to cut facial hair when he's never had any?
I just shaved this morning, so I don't know what you're discussing or what you're talking about. Like, if I wanted to, I could have, Marcus's beard by the end of the show.
You know what? As long as I've been with this dude, I've never seen like hair buds.
That's because I have to keep it smooth.
People have that facial hair, and you can tell, oh, they shave couple, they're starting to get essence of hair. You don't even get that.
No, it's because I keep the essence down. Otherwise, it's like weeds, Like I gotta, it gets too crazy.
Dartboard of Doom.
What is what?
Can't shave for a month.
No, because that's not a punishment for you guys. Like I like the way I look.
It is for me.
How is it for you?
Because my face hurts if I have too much hair on it.
No.
I got black people hair. It's curly.
If you guys get to turn down
ingrown hairs and stuff like that.
No, if you guys get to turn down Dartboard of Dooms willy-nilly, I say no.
Yeah, my issue is I get too handsome, and then it's like, oh, God, this guy again.
Yeah, like, what is the punishment for Frog Boy? Like, he's going to be a bearded frog? Big deal. The same thing every day.
All right. Somehow that was offensive. Okay.
Right? Like, Marcos is like,
Marcos' punishment should be, he should have to make his face naked.
Ooh.
Honestly, I was a part of a little crappy little independent film one time, and they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna need you to shave." I was no longer a part of that crappy independent.
Wow,
film. I can't do it, dude. I can't do it. I really can't.
What was the plot?
Well, it was like, we did something at a younger age, and now we're older. So to show that it was a younger age, they're like, "Oh, just shave your beard, totally fine." And I was like, "Yeah, totally fine," except for the fact that this is gonna go nowhere for the next 6 months. I have to deal with this.
Totally fine. Let's get to our headlines, brought to you by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Super Center. Why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford.
We know trucks.
Your final score from Toronto last night, 121-97. The Heat, they stunk up the joint, and they had like a valiant effort there in the third quarter to kind of put lipstick on a pig, but you knew how that was going to go. That wasn't going to last. Jimmy Butler's reaction after the loss, Leroy. The Heat are 24-17. Him, Bam, and Tyler have only finished, I think, 8 games together. His reaction was, "We cool."
Of course.
It's the thing with this team. It's kind of hard to be like, it's hard to get them in a spot of urgency because it's like, we all right.
Now, but I would say this. Just because you don't feel that sense of urgency doesn't mean that they don't behind closed doors. right? I think the overall tenor of that whole team is we do our work behind closed doors, but to the public, we cool. We working on things and we're gonna get it done. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, they've been like that from day one, right? And my thing is if as frustrating as it can be at times, you can't really doubt them.
Nah, you can't.
Until it doesn't happen.
I will say, I mean, you know, it is that point of the year where like Kyle Lowry is got when everybody does come back, he's doing that thing where it's like, oh, he's going on a single digit run because it's like 3 points, 2 points, 0 points, 2 points, 3 points
in 30 minutes.
It's like, wow. I mean, he's really giving you nothing out there.
But is he not giving you anything because he's trying to play facilitator? Because like the thing about Kyle is when all those guys are out, he balls, right? He'll go get you a couple of 20-point games when Jimmy and Bam and Tyler are out. So, I mean, what do you like? That's kind of what he's always done since he's been here. If
he's going to be here, I honestly think that the best place for him is to come off the bench. Like I was thinking about this last night, and you're right. Like when those guys are out, it's nice to have Kyle there to kind of provide that punch, kind of have the dictator. Because I don't think Kyle, up until everybody getting healthy, had a bad season with the Heat. I actually think he was probably having one of his better starts. But yeah, now it's getting back to this point where it's like he's kind of just he's not going to fit in that starting lineup. The starting lineup, first and third quarters have been really rough. And it just feels like it needs some kind of a shakeup. I liked the shakeup of adding Jovic. So you have Jovic, Bam, Tyler, Jimmy. They're all ball handlers. Why have Kyle out there too? Like I think that it'd be better if you put Kyle coming off the bench like he did in the playoffs. And I thought he was effective in that role. I thought he was good.
So who else do you put in there?
Jaime.
You ready to go with two young guys?
Hell yes, dude. Hell yes, I am.
Oh, now all of a sudden.
Yes.
Now all of a sudden. Oh.
Yes. Jaime and Jovic. Starting, baby. It's my favorite thing.
Hey, you think Spo's going for that?
I think he will go for that.
Yeah?
Yeah. Well, we know he trusts Jaime. Jaime's had, like, leads the league in fourth quarter minutes. He was starting him basically before everybody got healthy anyway. Yeah, I think he would. And Nikola Jovic is plus minus since he's been in. It's incredible. They even last night in that turd punch bowl of a game, +6. And had probably the play of the game. You see that no look fake hezzy? Woo-wee! Down the lane. Love that kid, dude.
Can I just say that last little explanation of Jovic by you?
What do you mean?
That was rough.
What do you mean?
Ooh-wee. With the hezzy.
Problem? How would you describe it, Marcos? That move, that one move that was like the only highlight of the game last night with Jovic doing the no look down the lane.
First, I'd start with some other lead up sound effects. I'd be more like, and then I'd follow it with a woo-wee. That's a little bit better, I think.
Yeah, dude. But I mean,
woo-wee. It sounds like you just got you a sip of some good moonshine.
Knew the game
like you were explaining basketball at all.
Knew the game was going rough last night when Intangibles wonder Grady Dick started hitting some threes on you.
Oh my goodness!
I was like, oof, it's tough. 20 of 38 from three last night for the Raptors. Do I really have to analyze this game any more than this?
No,
nah.
You don't.
Crazy.
Not a true loss.
Not a true loss.
How many threes did the Heat make?
6.
So you're talking about 42 points.
6 threes yesterday, Leroy.
42 points, and usually threes are like no effort, right? You're just sitting there.
First half threes, the difference 14-1.
Yeah.
Yeesh. Anyway, also last night, the Canes lost. They fell to FSU 84-75. Canes have dropped 3 out of 4. Not a great start to conference play thus far. And the Panthers, they lost another one in overtime. They fell to the Red Wings 3-2, coughed up a 2-1 lead. So loser's night last night. If you had the 305 parlay, you were a loser last night. Didn't even get one leg.
Oof.
Not even one leg, dude.
Yeah. And they were with the Panthers, you thought they would win that one. But the other two, those games were over like relatively early. You knew you could tear that ticket up early.
We'll take a quick break here on the program. Lots of shenanigans to get to here on a Thursday. Back after this.
The Heat are back.
Welcome back. Tobin and Leroy here with you. 560 WQAM. Gonna talk a little UFC today. UFC's first pay-per-view of the year is coming up on Saturday from Canada. Dricus Du Plessis is going to try and win the middleweight championship from Sean Strickland. Should be a really good fight. These guys have been really mean to each other in the lead up, Leroy. Although I did see some handshakes on the UFC embedded, so I wonder if the beef is squashed. Today's the press conference. Press conference is normally where shenanigans go down.
Well, that's where you live.
That is where I live.
Oh my goodness. Look, this guy gets more excited about the pre-fight press conference than he does about the fight.
Sometimes. I like fight shenanigans. One time when we were at in Vegas, Marcos, there was some heated beef between Kovalev and Andre Ward, and you could see the Russians were all kind of gathering in the back, and I was like, "Oh, Leroy, something's about to go down." He goes, "I'm leaving. I'm going to play Pai Gow."
Yeah, like I'm not. No,
What?
That's
You left
stupid.
before the shenanigans?
I'm not like, yeah.
Unacceptable.
Some NFL news in the coaching carousel. Mike McCarthy is staying on as Cowboys head coach.
I don't understand. Here, for the life of me, here's what I can't figure out. He's been 12-5 the last 3 years.
Yep.
But only 1-3 in the playoffs.
Yep.
Right? I don't know if people understand how sports work. You can't just replace one of the pieces and think that's going to be the difference. Because if you bring a new coach in, the whole system changes. The defensive system changes, right? Now you got to get acclimated to that. So I don't ever know, like, are we basically saying Mike McCarthy can't get no better? Or that defense can't get any better? Because when the season started, all we talked about was the defense. We didn't talk about Dak. We said with that defense, they're going to be able to do some things. But their defense was terrible.
Yeah, I mean, well, Dak did have at a point he was the MVP odds leader. It's not like he was doing nothing in that season.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Like, so
I feel like
you think changing the coach is going to fix all that as quickly as you want it fixed, or do you stick with the same guy?
I think there's an interesting balance to that too, because Jerry Jones, like, for as much as people think he's going to go and change everything, there is a balance, because he does like having a coach who's going to take his input. Like, it's a big thing with Jerry Jones. Part of the reason, like, why there's this long Jimmy Johnson beef forever was because Jerry wanted some credit. He wanted to be looked upon as the football guru. People did this with Jason Garrett all the time. Like, he let Jason Garrett continue to go out there, and every summer, everybody's like, when's Garrett getting fired? When's this going to happen? When's he getting the axe?
Right.
And he kept him around for a long time. So I don't know, but he is not fired. Sirianni, I think, is supposedly he's got to impress Eagles brass with some new coaches.
Here's the problem. If you're waiting to see if Nick Sirianni impresses with his new coaching hires, you're going to keep him. I don't understand. Does anybody it makes no sense that you would say, let me see you hiring as a coach, and that'll determine whether I keep you or not. That makes no sense.
I mean, it's like, if he does it, I think the basic plan is, hey, are you not going to have Matt Patricia? Right? Like, because he lost his coordinators to head coaching jobs the year beforehand.
Correct.
Obviously, the replacements didn't go well. So I think it's like, hey, you're not going to have that dum-dum with the pencil in his ear, are you?
Or the defensive coach.
Yeah, like that's
the offensive coach. Who knows?
So there's that, and then Bill Belichick is apparently taking a second interview with the Falcons.
Oh my goodness, that
second interview.
I'm not here. Can I just say this?
Why the Falcons?
Yeah, not the best landing spot for him.
I don't know.
They don't have a quarterback.
Figure it out.
That
Bill Belichick gets Kirk Cousins.
That's your thing right there. Figure it out. No,
Well,
as a coach, you don't go to a team without a quarterback. Period.
Yeah,
if
but
you have your choice, you don't go to a team without a quarterback. You don't do it.
I know, but he's not like, I don't think if you have a young quarterback and you just saw what happened to Mac Jones, are you dying to get Bill Belichick as your head coach? Like, you've put the Chargers thing, and like, I get why they would want Harbaugh over Bill Belichick. You know, you want a quarterback guru with your supposed good quarterback in Justin Herbert. I wouldn't want Bill Belichick there. You know?
So it's a much better fit. And
I mean, did the Chargers even interview him?
no, who did they interviewed Jim Harbaugh? I think
They interviewed Harbaugh. I don't know if they did interview Belichick or not, but either way, like that second interview. I mean, look, you're not doing 2 interviews with him, and you're not going to hire him.
I mean,
So
the second interview is usually let's get this money right.
Let's get this money right. I imagine it's going to be a lot of. I think Bill Belichick's going to own a couple Home Depots after this.
We go like 3 years, 30.
I don't know. I don't know what the highest NFL guy gets.
Giving Bill Belichick years once he hit 75. He said he wasn't coaching over 70.
Yeah. 3 years to figure it out
and to get the record.
But like, what did they give Gruden? Gruden didn't he get 100?
He got 10 years, Hundy.
If Gruden gets 10 years, Hundy, and I'm Bill Belichick, I'm getting 5 years, Hundy.
What?
Yep.
What are you doing?
I'm Belichick.
But you're also 71, dude.
You're the Falcons. Like, I don't know. Like,
can I just say, your negotiating tactics suck.
I think my negotiating tactics would be.
That's your logic.
You're the Falcons. You had somebody named Arthur Smith as your last coach. I'm Belichick. I'm the GOAT.
He had that porn stash.
Oof.
If he walked if he walked into a Home Depot, nobody would know who he was.
No. If he walked into he does look like somebody who's like running the paint section at Home Depot.
Advising on colors.
What would you like? Some eggshell?
No, it's not gonna work. It says he was making $25 million last year.
Belichick?
Discount. Yeah. It also says that Sean Payton is making $18 million. I can't imagine they'll give him more than Sean Payton, or like too much more than Sean Payton.
He's got to get more than Sean Payton.
Maybe $20 million.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. It's exactly what 5 years, Hundy.
Who else? Yeah. Who else is in the hunt? They're not compete with anybody.
I don't know. That's a good question.
I mean, if you're the only one competing for his services.
But he could always, like Belichick, if he really wanted to. Now, I imagine he wants to get right back into it, but if he wanted to, he could just sit out a year.
Sit out a year at 71.
Yeah, dude, what's he going to do? What's he going to go to the boat? He's not going to exhaust himself this year.
At 71, you do not take years off. You finish, and then you're done.
I think he'd be fine. I mean, like,
no,
he doesn't exude a lot of energy during the press conference of the week. It's all mumbles and grunts.
So this is what they're going to hear in Atlanta. We're on to New Orleans.
New Orleans, and yeah. Saw Gerard Mayo yesterday. Was like, oh, I'm going to try and have a nice relationship with the media. And sucker. That Boston media is going to turn on you like this, Gerard.
Especially with the underlying issues in the region.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You know damn well what I'm talking about, dunks.
We'll take a quick break. Back after this. All right. Welcome back. It's Tobin and Leroy here with you.
When I'm in need, that is trifling, friend indeed. No, she's a gold digger. Oh, that's it.
Oh, okay.
I mean, the intro that Marcos played was 7 minutes without nothing. So I was
wondering bars over that. I was gonna do traffic rap again, just cause.
Traffic rap.
How is day 2 as a viral sensation?
Lonely at the top. You know,
it is.
What can I say?
Hey,
yeah.
I did my PT this morning.
How was that,
dude? I still can't turn the bike all the way over.
Damn.
I'm still going like old people. Back,
right though.
forth. But then I'm doing like one-legged squats and stuff.
Oh, look at that.
And then I say, well, my knee only bends to here because it's been getting better. Boy looks at me and say, "Oh, we're gonna fix that today."
Oh, Jesus.
Like, excuse me? I'm like, excuse me? He said, yeah, we got to get your range of motion. I said, my knee don't want range of motion right now. He said, well, we got to do it. And he just cranked on it.
So did you get there?
Yeah, I mean, not the best of all the exercise I do. The one where he force bends my leg is the worst.
You don't seem, it doesn't seem like he was gentle.
You can't be gentle. If your leg only goes this far and he needs to go this far, how you think it's going to get there?
Oh.
More importantly, are you going to be ready for the media day game?
Dude, I told you I quit running when I quit getting a check.
No, we just need you to set picks.
No.
Yeah,
First
that's
of
all
all,
you have to do for.
First of all, I only set picks for my friends.
Oh, okay.
That means Solana, you asked out, brother. He set no picks so he could go and be intangible and shoot the three.
Wait, so Solana's actually going to go play in a media day game, knowing his knee history? Like he's.
No, I think he finally came to terms with it. I don't think he's playing this one. Yeah, he will be commentating though.
Doesn't every time he plays, he gets like a knee thing
somehow? Yeah. See, my skill is I don't really run that fast. That prevents injury.
Well, neither does Jokic. Just like figure it out, dude. Use some of those hesitation moves. Maybe watch a little Jaime. Get some footwork down for the game.
Dude,
yeah, I would need some footwork.
Can I just say, I've seen the people in our facility. Y'all better go get some ringers.
We have an Odyssey team. Like, what is this? Who is playing in this game?
So far it's me, Galen, Robbie the Degenerate's coming back. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Stunt and Steve's going to be joining the team as well.
What is he going to be? Point guard?
What is this like? This is like playing for the Netherlands team. If you've ever been on 560 or 790, you get to play in the media day game.
Yeah, Joe's going to play. It's going to be pretty good. Joe's probably our best athlete, if I had to be honest.
Wow.
That's our fast break.
Can I just say, if Joe Rose is your best athlete,
yeah, he's good. Me and Vlad.
Your best athlete can't be over 60 years old, dude.
Who are you guys playing against?
I'm assuming Will Manso and I don't know, Jim Barry or something. Probably none of those people. I would
be great if there was a newsman team.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, they came at it like Anchorman?
Yeah.
All dressed like Jackie Moon?
Exactly, dude. Exactly. You got these guys from last night, Marcos. You got Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler last night was asked about where the Miami Heat currently stands. 7 over 500. We are at the halfway point of the season after yesterday's game. They are returning home tomorrow for a home game against the Hawks. Do you have Jimmy Butler here, Marcos?
I don't, but in 30 seconds I will.
Jimmy Butler yesterday, Leroy, his second game back. very, nobody in the Heat, I think, even scored over 20 yesterday. It was tough sledding for them to get back into this one. I mean, pretty much felt like it was over at halftime. It really felt like it was over after the first quarter. It was brutal.
Because here's why. Instead of Nikola, they were yelling, Bricola, because they shot number bricks.
It was terrible.
It was like, off the back rim. I'm like, holy smokes.
But I'm not going to be like, here's the thing. I got, accused
you can't be
yesterday.
that way in basketball. You can't be that way in basketball because everybody has a stinker.
Right. I'm not going to sit here. People are accusing me of being Wild Heat Coyote again, and I'm not falling for it. Like, I'm rolling that game off my back. Doesn't matter. We're good. I know that they also had a real bad first half against the Brooklyn Nets, but they found that one. They found a way to win. I mean, yes, it was only.
You know what it looked like? I'm going to tell you what it looked like. It looked like they were still trying to play the game in mud, and they got boat raced.
Yep.
So, like, one of the things about good teams is you don't necessarily try to win a game a certain way, but you have the ability to win the game that is played, right? So to determine that this game is going to be in the mud, if somebody gets hot, you're in trouble.
Yeah, and the person who was hot for the Raptors were all of the Raptors.
All of them. Guys I didn't even realize shooting threes.
Yep, all of them. They were all just out there. Gary Trent, 5 of 6 yesterday. I mean, it was a brutal watch.
I did. Ever since the coach went off about Scotty Barnes, I had to keep an eye on him.
Yeah, Scotty, he's
good.
He's good. He's good. Scotty Barnes. That's why they're trading everybody. They're like, this is Scotty Barnes' team now. West Palm. Shout out.
You see Siakam is in Indiana. You think that's going to move the needle for Indiana?
No, not really.
They got a lot of length.
They got a lot of firepower,
and they got their stud up top.
They got a lot of firepower. They certainly got a great young point guard in Halliburton. They're a good team, but
shoots the ball really weird.
He does, but they're a good team. But I know the Heat fans getting antsy, and what I would say to them is like, look, stop bothering me. I'm not going to sit here and demand a trade because I'm not that guy anymore. Because people are hitting me up all the time. Tobin, did you see this? Did you see that? Terry Rozier's favorite destination is the Miami Heat. And a different me would have said, we got to break this down. Terry Rozier going to the Miami Heat. But I'm not going to do that. Now, I mean, could Terry Rozier do more than what Kyle Lowry has done over the last few games? Very easily, yes, so. But I'm not going to sit here and start trading everybody because I've turned over a new leaf.
Marcos?
Yeah. Seems legit.
No.
Latour.
No, this is mark this.
What?
Because here's what's going to happen. You're going to come in here one day.
Yeah.
Leroy. And yeah, it's coming.
No, I'm not.
Oh my goodness, are you kidding me?
Dude, just because
you're like the kid. Hold on. You're like the T-ball kid in the outfield that's playing center field with 8 of your friends. And you see a butterfly and you start going play with the butterfly. It's very easily to get you off task.
The only acquisition I want right now is getting Jaime back in the lineup, dude. That's all I want.
Okay.
I am a Heat lifer, true and true.
Okay, what does Heat lifer have to do with trade?
I just, I don't need to make any trades. I'm not addicted to the chase anymore.
Let me ask you this. Will the Heat make any trades?
I don't know. They haven't.
Yes.
Well, what do you think they're going to do?
I don't know. But I think Pat,
the most obvious thing.
Pat gets a little bit antsy.
Does he?
Yeah.
I mean, what has he done? He hasn't made any move. Like, there's always a buyout move.
But he was trying to.
We don't know.
Yep.
We don't know. They spent the whole summer.
You cried on the radio. You know he did.
I cried on the radio because they didn't make a move. Like,
no,
what are you
but
talking
I'm saying
about?
He's been trying.
Did they try? I don't know.
Okay.
Doesn't sound like there was a lot of communication between them and the Blazers. I think they got cocky.
Why wouldn't you? When the player says, I only want to go to Miami.
I would make sure the deal gets done. But it's all in the past now. I'm not even worried about that because it turned out to be better anyway.
You got to say, as an old person, that's neither here nor there.
Here is Jimmy Butler on where the Heat stand.
We cool. Obviously, we can be better, but we'd rather be 7 games over 500 than 7 games under 500. So we'll be just fine.
Boxed in.
100. You see how you said 100?
I did. 100.
You can't get away with that.
What do you mean?
Doesn't really sound.
I'd rather be 7 over 500 than 7 under 500.
Dude,
Samesies.
you know, in your efforts to sound cool,
Mm-hmm.
you cannot possibly sound any more intangible than you just did.
No cap.
And then you had to ask Tyler, did I use it right? So wait. He uses it, right? And then ask another intangible if I'm using it right.
Yeah, but he's a cool intangible.
Wow,
You would get it.
Wow, you got a brother sit right next to you.
I mean, but I mean, even if that's the case, like you're older. I don't think I've ever heard you use the phrase "no cap."
No, because I speak English.
No cap. No cap.
They use it in the right time.
See, I'm just keeping it 100. Keep it a buck.
Okay. Yeah, that's good.
Dude, what are we doing? Can you please stop? Can you please stop? That's, you know what you're using no cap sounds like? Watch out with your boy.
Or my favorite. Howdy, boy.
So is that like a black cowboy?
Makes me a little uncomfortable.
Howdy, boy.
I don't know what that sheriff's intentions are.
Who is this current squeeze?
Oh my god! Like, what are we doing? This is not possible. Like you use all the current phrases, and it could make you more whiter than you currently are, right?
Perhaps.
Perhaps. Oh my goodness.
I don't trust that sheriff's intentions is a point.
Point for Tobin!
Oh man, we'll take a break. Hour 2 coming up next. Our Tua. It's our Tua. Tua, Tua, Tua. Tonga Valoa. Not
Tua Tagovailoa.
A for effort. Dolphins quarterback.
Tua.
It's our Tua. It's our Tua.
Tua.
Tua, Tua, Tua. Tua, Tua, Tua. Can go to hell. Tua Tonga Valoa. Dolphins quarterback.
Daddy loves you guys.
Our Tua with Tobin and Leroy.
Check the history of food.
To the program, ladies and gentlemen. Ow! Tobin and Leroy here with you. 560 WQAM, taking you up until 2 here on the program. Let's get to some headlines brought to you by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Super Center. Why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford.
We know trucks.
Miami Heat, they lose yesterday to the Raptors, 121-97.
And it wasn't that close.
Nope. It was a blowout. And Miami Heat fans, Heat Twitter this morning, Leroy, very restless, very restless. People want moves. People want action.
They lost the game?
Yep.
Man.
Very restless. I'm cool. I'm sitting here. I'm just like, man.
Well, you know, the problem with this is why you don't get a pass. You have started this years ago. So now fans are restless and you're to blame too.
That's not really fair though. Like if I've bowed out, if I've taken my chips off the table.
The damage is done. You built this scene for years.
Fair. Like just because you can't just say all my little clones that like they should keep following my lead. And my lead right now is don't worry, baby, not a true loss. No Jaime.
Hey, you think you can just drop the show pony tag?
Yes.
No, you can't.
You should be able to shed that label whenever you want.
Because guess what? They were all in the chat saying, make me a bicycle clown.
Interesting. Did you guys see this? DeShon Elliot, you familiar with him? Dolphin safety?
Yeah.
He posted on Instagram. And this is you know, a good thing called If I'm Honest with DeShon Elliot. I pray by the grace of God on the Chiefs' downfall. I hope Buffalo beats them like they stole something.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Why?
Because like I want the Bills to lose too. Can they both lose? Is that possible? Like I don't know.
No, they can't both lose.
Who would you rather? Okay, so this is
I think I'd rather the Bills lose though.
Here's the interesting thing. And I'm gonna guess that me and Tobin agree on this. I'm tired of hearing about Josh Allen. Right? He is 2024 version of Brett Favre. Dynamic, does a lot of incredible things, makes great plays, but his turnovers always end up costing his team. Brett Favre was the same way. Doesn't mean he's any less great, right? It just means that you know at some point in time it's coming. And so does it mean he can still be great? Yes. But it also means that the same guy that gets you there is going to be the same guy that cost you a championship.
In my petty rankings, the way that I go, number 1 is the Bills. Number 2 is the Chiefs. 3 is the Texans. 4 is the Ravens.
Oh, just in playoff petty.
Yes.
Okay.
Playoff petty right now. The way I'm going, that's the order I'm rooting for everybody there.
Why Texans?
Rookie quarterback, if he were to win the Super Bowl, you know, I got to hear the Tua thing. You know, I'm just not into it. You know, just for my own exhaustion.
Oh, okay.
Can't deal with it, you know?
Okay.
If I were to go on the NFC side, I don't really care if the 49ers win. I'm fine with that. Packers, same deal. I think honestly the person I want to win the most is Man Campbell. Like if I'm rooting for a team, I think it's Man Campbell. It's probably Man Campbell, then Lamar Jackson, And then I guess the 49ers.
Yeah. It's weird because when you think of, Jordan Love and putting Jordan Love in the same spot as Tua, it's a bit unfair because he got to sit behind a Hall of Fame quarterback and Tua was thrown into a job with a limp.
Mm-hmm.
So, we're not comparing apples to apples, right? I always wonder, now that we've seen Green Bay do it twice, why is it so important that we get these young quarterbacks out there sooner? And they make the thing of, because you want to know by the time he gets to the end of his first contract.
Right.
But you also want him ready, right? And to throw him out there if he's not ready, because a lot of these guys come out early, right, is like you're not doing them any favors.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I think it's you certainly see what happened with Mahomes too, going into a good situation.
Jordan sat. Lamar's a little different because he had that added dynamic.
Yep.
Right now, kudos to him, because I've said this. Of all of the supposedly athletic running quarterbacks, he has been the best passer.
What do you think happened in that Chiefs game that DeShon Elliot wants to prey on their downfall? Like, do you think there was some dirty, some smack
Probably
talk
just
or
a
something?
little trash talk.
A little trash talk. He just wants or
Yeah.
maybe he's also just tired of the Kelseys.
It's just one. Like, how can you be mad at Jason Kelce?
Well,
Even when they do commercials together, he doesn't talk.
It's just,
Mommy always protects him.
trying to drag out his whole thing.
Why not? The dude's a 7-time Pro Bowler, All Pro, probably going to be in the Hall of Fame. Why can't he do it at his pace?
He can do it at his pace. But if they get you got to admit it. I think you got to cop to it.
Do you?
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
I think so.
All right.
But doesn't matter. They're out. So I'm not worried about their petty rankings right now. I
can't. I would like Lamar to win one, right?
Of course.
But I can't.
Why?
I can't, right?
For Baltimore?
Yeah.
That hurts that much?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't hurt me.
You were a Raven.
It's also a Brown.
But you were a Raven.
I was also a Brown. That right there, that's buried deep. Like fans.
Okay, but if it's Lamar versus Josh Allen, who are you picking?
Lamar.
Okay.
Like, there's not even a hesitation.
Not even hesitate. I mean, Tony Romo is going to be insufferable this weekend.
So my thing is that I still wonder if Kansas City can win. They can't score.
We don't know, because you basically got to play against a defense with an arm tied behind its back.
Forearms.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's a fair question. I mean, Rashee Rice looks like he's coming on pretty strong for them.
They do this. They did this all year. They'll have a big game and then boot 5 balls.
Possible.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, possible.
Yeah, I'm as much as like Buffalo and Tony Romo, for reasons I can't explain, just make Buffalo unlikable.
It's a sports plague, and I'm glad everybody's catching up to it. We've been hip to this game for a little bit, and now everybody's realizing how uncomfortably over the top he is for Josh Allen. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like, he really is like rooting for him, and I get it. You guys in sports media today, guys have their favorite players, but like when you're watching a game, it can't be that obvious. And it's so obvious when you listen to these Bills games with Tony Romo that he loves this dude. And but like temper it back a little bit, dude, or you got to be that enthusiastic about everybody.
And by the way, there should be a memo sent throughout the NFL. Dear quarterbacks, if you hezzy, we're going to let them knock your ass out.
That's not going to happen.
I know.
That's not gonna happen.
God.
Other headlines. We had a post from Jalen Ramsey on Instagram.
From where? From
He said it was I don't know what city, I don't know what country he was in when he posted this. It was a picture of him on the field, and it said still ain't over that bull bleep. Same.
it
I
took
like
it took a while. It took a while for me. Like every time I lost, the hardest one was the NFC Championship game.
Oof.
But there was some. It took a little bit longer to get over. I remember losing to Dallas. That one was a tough one because I was banged up. I remember losing to Pittsburgh because I only got 8 carries. And in fact, when I got to the Pro Bowl, Bill Cowher was the coach, and he asked, "Any requests?" I said, "Yeah, can I get more than 8 carries?" And he laughed. I had 12.
That was nice of him.
Yeah, I just like you here. Getting over it is a lot different than accepting it, right? Like you know as a player if the other team was better on that day, right? When it's all said and done. You could live with that. The hardest things to live with is, could I have done anything different? Could I have done something for my team to help us win this game, right? And that's the stuff you struggle with, and you go over plays in your head and situations. And till this day, the game wasn't lost in overtime. The game for us was lost. We were up by 2 touchdowns, and with a minute left to go in the half, we were on our own 10-yard line, strip sack, fumble, and they score.
Oof.
Right.
We'll take a quick break, hear a little bit more from the Dolphins' plan going into this offseason. Back after this.
Full slate of games last night, and we're talking about them all. The Heat, Panthers, and
All right, welcome back. Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM.
Can I tell you about some BK coffee?
Hell yeah, dude.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. I love me some Bernie Kosar.
You guys, we all love Bernie Kosar. Dude has been through a lot with over, 40 surgeries, 100, concussions. It's all been documented, but I think the greatest comeback is one that he's made coming on the other side of that. He realized that food is medicine and changed what he put into his body. And so Bernie started a wellness products and started creating wellness products. And he made some coffee. And this coffee contains vitamin D, which most of us are deficient in vitamin D, and resveratrol, which is a miracle antioxidant and anti-inflammatory. All you have to do is go to kosarcoffee.com to order your coffee. And as Bernie would always say, you deserve to be healthy because you matter.
I like when it does you matter with the you, too.
Yo, you know what? He's been doing that for long before this. He would always say that.
Yeah, he does.
And if you're around him, if he sends you a message, if he sends you a text, he puts it on the bottom of a text. I think he is probably, as far as athletes, he's probably one of the most positive athletes I've ever been around. Right? Just nothing. He's always been that way. But whether things are going good or bad or indifferent, that's just him. So cool to see that he's doing some things. We'll have him on tomorrow, of course, because
yes,
who doesn't like talking to Bernie?
Bernie Kosar tomorrow. We'll break down all the playoffs with him and also get his thoughts on Cam Ward joining the Canes. I know we talked to him about that a few weeks ago, and he was for the Canes going and getting a vet QB. And now that Mario Cristobal was able to do that, you honestly feel a little bit better about the season. And definitely got to get some better receiver help for sure this year because they got some ponies in the backfield.
Yep.
But it definitely is I think it's going to be a nice handover to this year because he's certainly going to have a hell of a line in front of him.
But and that's what I was getting ready to ask. Is the production of the offense going to have more to do with the QB and the offensive line or the talent that they put outside? Because I would say that with all the things that they struggle with this year, quarterback was up there for whatever reason, right? And you never thought that was going to be an issue.
Yeah, it was some of the decisions by TVD were very head scratching this year. Weird, man. It was weird. Getting over to the pro side of things, Mike McDaniel, he was asked about Tua after the season and was asked if Tua needs to improve his mobility. Here was what Mike McDaniel had to say about that.
Is Tua going to be a zone read option quarterback? No. But I think he has developed in some of the buying extra time when necessary. I think that will continue to improve where you can just maybe move off the spot a little bit and not necessarily run for a first down, but you can extend the play. I think that those things improve with a lot of things. You're the I don't know, the continuity of an offensive line group that you learn where guys are generally blocking for the launch point, and so then you know your safe spots in the pocket. All of these things, it's all about progression. I think he just needs to continue to do what he has been doing in terms of progressing, and I'll be very much happy with that.
There you go. What do you think of that, Leroy?
I think when you see Tua from his first year to his second year, from his second year to his third year, and from last year to this year, he's gotten better. I mean, like when you look at all these other quarterbacks, they've gone the other way. They were great at coming out of the gate, and they didn't get better. You look at Mac Jones. You look at Zach Wilson. You look at who's the quarterback in New York?
Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones. You look at Herbert. You look at what down in Jacksonville, up in Jacksonville, what Trevor Lawrence has done, right? They've had ups and downs, and the problem is that we already claimed that these guys were great as soon as they showed their first bit of excellence, and for some reason, Tua's gotten progressively better. Yet we still look at him differently than we look at all those other guys who have digressed coming into this year. This guy. You're kidding.
I'm sorry. One second. Relax. I mean, my bad. You matter.
Yeah, madder than hell is what I am.
You, I think the thing with him is, do you think that a year of him not having concussions in a game will make him less hesitant to go out on the move on certain things?
No, but I think he's not going to be the guy that we're going to look at that runs for 30 yards here and there.
No.
Right? He's never going to be that guy. But what you have to acknowledge is that he's moved around in the pocket. He's made some guys miss and thrown the ball down the field. And that's what you need him for. Right? He's not going to be Lamar Smith. Lamar Jackson. He's not going to be Josh Allen. But when you watch him in the pocket, how he moves around the pocket, how he creates more space, how he gives himself some time, that's all you can really ask for. That's who he's going to be.
Cat for Life says, what I saw at the end of that presser, Tobin, with McDaniels and the GM, they are not on the same page. I saw some things about this. I just think McDaniel is got weird, like, facial tics. Like, I just think that he's always got the gears going, like at all times.
Right.
So, like, every word, like, you literally hear how he answers questions. Like, that mind feels like it's moving a mile a minute. I don't think there's a rift there.
Here's the other thing. You're also comparing a guy who talks to the media once or twice a year with a guy who has to talk every day. Right? So how they answer questions are going to be different. And you can read into that however you want, but just read into it this way. Mike McDaniel talks to the media every day.
Yep.
And the GM does twice a year.
Maybe
That's
3.
That's it. So, right. So he can answer questions differently.
For sure. We'll take a break. Dricus Du Plessis, UFC star. He's going to join us a little earlier than thought. He's going to hop on with us coming up next.
WQAM. Yeah. You know what? I like the players.
Welcome back.
No doubt.
Tobin and Leroy here with you. 560 WQAM. Take you up until 2 o'clock here on the program. Divisional round coming on up. The Heat, they will be back home tomorrow as they take on the Atlanta Hawks. It is Udonis Haslem night. He is getting his jersey raised to the rafters. So that'll be a Goosies galore moment. Looking forward to being boots on the ground for that one. See where things are at. Also, I'll check vibes around the state. I'll be snooping around, Leroy, checking vibes on like if there's any moves or maneuvers on the horizon.
Okay.
But I'm not going to be encouraging any of them. That's not how I roll anymore, dude. Just going to be putting an ear to the ground, boots to the ground, ear to the ground. That's what I'm going to be doing. That's old Tobes these days, I mean, DeJounte Murray did hit a game winner yesterday to beat the Orlando Magic, in case anybody was wondering, But I didn't say immediately, oh, I need that guy. I'm just saying he did hit a game winner last night against the Magic. Two-way player. One could see how Eric Spoelstra would be interested in. Player with this.
Listen, this is how you ease your way into it.
I'm just saying, you got
like you ease your way into it. You say, oh, I'm gonna stay off the sweets, but I'm gonna just put honey on everything, right?
I did see. I saw that it was going around. I think our boy Wes Goldberg on Locked On Heat. He was saying he had Jake Fisher from Yahoo Sports. Duncan Robinson, according to Jake Fisher, is untouchable, off the table for the Miami Heat right now. Isn't that crazy? Think about that 2 years ago. Duncan Robinson, the Heat probably would have given him away for a bag of donuts. And now all of a sudden, Duncan Robinson's been playing so well. They're like, can't move dunks. You can't do it. You can't do it.
You mean, here's an interesting concept. A young player develops and becomes a better player. What are you doing?
Well, how old is he? You make it seem like he's Jovic, like he's 20.
No, I'm not saying that. It don't matter how old you are once you get to that next level.
Well, you said young. You're the one who categorized young.
I mean, young as far as years, not young as far as age.
Interesting.
You still got to develop?
Okay.
29, jeez. Getting up there.
Big 3-0 coming up this spring. We all know how Duncan Robinson plays on his birthday, though.
And look where he is.
He's killing it.
Right.
He's killing it. He's killing it.
Yeah, I think we all need a little more patience because if it were up to us, Dunks wouldn't even been on the team.
I can use another episode of Long Shot.
I think his podcasting days are behind him for a little bit. So many podcasts now, too. I think everybody's going on Udonis's podcast. That's where you got to go right now for your Heat content. I feel like that's the way where it's going to go.
Tell me, Wade has a podcast. Did I hear that correctly?
D Wade has a podcast. Yep, I haven't listened to that one. He had Dirk Nowitzki on there. I don't like. I love D Wade. I don't need to hear D Wade be phony to Dirk. We know what Dirk said.
We know the truth.
We know the truth. Smiling faces with hidden agendas.
Really?
No thanks, Dirk Nowitzki. I don't need to see it. I'm not a fan of that episode. I'm going to consider the next episode the first episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. But anyway, yeah, the one thing though that I'm a little concerned about in the Heat right now in the starting lineup is with Kyle. Like I just think that he's got to go back to the bench. Put him back on the bench.
I just think that it looks that way because when those guys are all playing, he just becomes a facilitator. He doesn't even look for his shot. And you could have somebody more aggressive in that role and then have Kyle play the role where he's aggressive and can score when he has the opportunity. It has nothing to do with his ability to play, but it has to do with the decision that he makes of how to play when those guys are in the game. And it's like only 4 guys are scoring. You need all hands on deck.
Right. Sometimes Leroy gets very disappointed in you quickly. He hits you with the lean back. My man Tobin's working here. He's muted, but he's working. Oh, he's extra muted.
What are you doing? No. What are you doing?
Still can't hear you, Tobin. Still can't hear you.
Oh, my bad. Well,
What? You did it for 5 minutes.
Whoa!
I thought you were angry
Realize
with me.
why everybody was staring at you?
I didn't realize why everybody was staring
Oh
at
my
me.
God.
My bad. I was trying to get our guest out. I was making sure he was all good to go. Let's talk to him now, baby.
Yes.
Dricus Du Plessis is going to be fighting UFC 297 this week. He's fighting for the mother bleeping belt. Dricus, thanks for the time, man. How are you? Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. How's Canada?
Hey, what's James? Oh, thanks for having me, man. Canada is amazing. It's been great. Listen, being from South Africa, we are not used to that weather. Let me tell you that much.
Wait, down here in Miami, we're not either, dude.
But I mean, it's a nice change of pace. I like it. I really do. I'm even staying a couple of days extra to really enjoy it, throw some snowballs at people, see what I can get.
How is it, because you may do some things outdoors. Do you is it all confined to indoors now because of the weather there in Canada?
Yeah, yesterday, not by choice, I didn't see the outside of this building. It was just media. Damn. I mean, I woke up because we're fighting at midnight. Had to change up the sleeping schedule.
Okay.
Because we're fighting Vegas time, so we're on East Coast right now. So
yeah.
With the time difference, I'm fighting. Usually we would fight at 10 p.m. and now I'm fighting at midnight. And I mean, I'm fighting at 10 p.m. is late for me. I'm a guy that goes to sleep at 9, 10 in the evening. So right now I'm going to sleep about 1 a.m. to train between 9 and 10 to get my body firing at night. And that's been something. But yesterday, I mean, I woke up at 9 a.m. They were pissed at me because I had my first interview at 9, but I just moved it to 9:30. I said, guys, sleep is the priority right now. And I was busy with media up until 4 p.m. straight. And I mean, it's great because that means we are the center of attention, and that's what we're here for, man. Being a main event and selling the shit out of this fight. I love it. I love it. Being on the poster, being the poster boy for this fight. It's my first time in the UFC. It's a massive milestone for me, for South Africa. I'm loving it.
Is it more difficult than people would lead on the change in time? Like you said, you're used to fighting earlier. You're used to going to bed earlier. Is it hard? Is it that hard of a transition to get your body acclimated to fighting at midnight?
Yeah. So I have the flying and the schedule in terms of traveling, because I mean, South Africa, if you're going to fight in South America, North America, it doesn't really matter. Anywhere in the world, South Africa is central, and
Right.
Africa is central. It's far away from everywhere. So wherever, if I'm not flying north, if I'm flying east or west, it's a lot of time zones. It's a lot of time zones. So that we always make sure we get the right timing. Flying out at least 2 weeks for this one because it's 7-hour time difference. And with Vegas, I'll do even closer to 3 weeks because it's 10 hours. But then, changing your sleeping schedule around that, we start doing that at home already. The week before I go, I'll wake up, I'll train at 3 a.m. in the mornings in South Africa.
Right.
Or 2 a.m. and then I'll go to sleep at 7 a.m.
Right.
So we make sure we sort that out because the sleep is such an important part. But if you have to start, that's one thing. But if you start, changing the sleeping times that I'm doing over years, the sleeping schedule of going to sleep at the latest by 10 p.m., waking up at 6 a.m. That is your two extremes, where sometimes I sleep at 9 p.m. and I wake up at 5, but that is my schedule. To change that into going to sleep at 1 a.m., that's difficult because my body at 1 a.m., I can be out partying, having the time of my life, standing on a bar doing shots outside of a fight camp. When that clock hits 10, I go like this. What's the time? It doesn't.
Well, listen, hey, Dricus, if you win the belt, there's going to be a lot of people that
my best life.
If you end up winning the belt, there's going to be a lot of people that want to party with the champ. You're going to have to go to caffeine or something, man. You're going to have to maybe push through once you get the there's going to be people who want to party past 10 if you win the belt.
Yeah, bro, I'll just do some espresso shots or something the whole time. That's it. I'm gonna have a beer in one hand and espresso shots. But for me, so I mean, we got that. We got that right for the past 10 days. We've been training at 9, between 8 and 9 p.m. Here in the hotel gym, and then sleeping all the way till 9, 10 a.m. It's been great. It's different, but yeah, we got that. Obviously, the later the better, but yeah, the climatizing. I don't think people put enough value on that. I've seen that a lot, with myself included.
Dricus Du Plessis is going to be fighting for the middleweight championship. Get UFC 297 on ESPN Plus pay-per-view. Now, you guys have had a hell of a lead up to this fight, DDP. If you could explain as cleanly as possible, we're live. I don't want my bosses mad at me, but the melee cage side, when you guys are going after it, did you feel like it was going to get to a crescendo where he leaps after you? Did you sense it was going that way, or was it when you guys are in the middle of that? Because our boy Gilbert Burns, like his kids, they got to get moved out of the way when you guys are going after it. Did you sense it was going to get to that point where you guys are actually coming to blows before the fight?
No. You don't expect that from a middleweight champion of the world, to be honest. But we are. I said this. We are fighters. We are warriors, and unfortunately, we live in a society. And listen, make no mistake, this is not the image that I want to portray to the world about MMA fighters or the UFC. I have a company to represent, the most prestige company in the world, and I'm very honored to work for and to represent the UFC. So that is not the image that I want out there for us as athletes or as a company in the UFC. These guys just fighting in the middle of the crowd where people pay a lot of money to go, and there's kids, and the example we set. But unfortunately, and even though we as fighters don't like to admit this, we have the warrior gene. We have that fighter in us, and it's always going to be there. No fighter ever just got into fighting the first time in his life he fought was in a ring. Unfortunately not. You have to have it here. You have that somewhere. Even any athlete, any football player, American football players, I bet you they've been in quite a few fights in their lives, because you have to be able to go fight for what you want. And unfortunately, that situation, it was unfortunate because the fight could have been in jeopardy, and that we didn't set a good example. We didn't. And that's the bad about this. But the good about this is, well, call it the good. I know Sean Strickland is the kind of guy who goes out there and he will defend himself and defend his manlyhood and defend his alpha male. He is an alpha male, and I'm an alpha male. And that's what you get if you get two alphas. There's only one leader of the pack. And, things boiled over. We were in that proximity. If we were far away from each other, it wouldn't have been a problem. But, right there, it was about, this is my circle. And if you cross that line, and lines were crossed.
Are you concerned, or do you have a sense that, because the press conference is today, right? So, this press, they're going to badger you guys. They're going to try and almost lead into that. Do you have to mentally go into today making sure, like, I know that the game of this is people are going to try and get reactions out of us. We're going to get reactions out of each other, and in a sense, because you just want to get to the fight. The most important thing is to go and get to the championship fight, even though that stuff is, people, it sells fights. It makes the fight for business and all that. The biggest goal is just to get to Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, that's it. But that's our responsibility as athletes. That falls on us. Press is going to do what the press does. They want clickbait. They want headlines. They want the scoop. Everybody loves the drama. The previous press conference was for the drama. The drama they got. The previous, when I was in Vegas for that presser and for fight night, the drama they wanted, they got it, and the rest they'll get on Saturday night. Tonight we have a press conference. I have no intention of going in there and fighting with Sean Strickland. I have that on Saturday night, except if they say, cool, we'll give you your show purse and your win purse if you win this fight on stage tonight. Sure. Yeah, we can do it right there.
Oh man, yeah, that's the biggest thing is
we don't have we can do it, but and the belt must be on the line. That's the most important part. But for me, right now, this is not. The previous press conference was funny. I had a great time. It was entertaining the people on a mic. None of that makes none of that matters anymore. No, nothing matters. What we say, you can win as far as you want on the mic tonight. It's a matter of 48 hours, and we're going to see who really wins.
He's a tough style fighter to kind of figure out. He's a little bit weird. People say it's tough to mimic that in camp. How did you prepare for this one? Just going up against Sean, knowing he's maybe not your typical style. Going in there, you seem like a very prepared fighter. I imagine that you've covered every basis to get ready for this one.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean that's testimony to my coaches, my team back in South Africa, Team CIT. We are absolute professionals. And when it comes to fighting, I mean, fighting is one of those sports where you can.
See if he comes back, Leroy. I think we lost him, Leroy.
All right.
Well, we wish Dricus the best, man. He was doing he was entertaining up until we lost that hotel. I thought he was like hardwired in because he had the
big headphones.
He had the big old headphones. I was like, I haven't seen those in a hot minute.
Right. I gotta tell you, as most people explain fights and ruckuses and brouhahas before a fight, that was probably one of the better explanations without just going full. Because, even when you ask about a fight, most of the fighters are going to talk about, oh, no, you ain't going to do that. It's go time. I'm all day, right? Yep. And he really didn't. He's like, no, I don't want that. But, we just butted heads. It's kind of a like
I mean, you don't see that much where there's fights in the middle of the bleeping stands. That's crazy. But no, he seems like he wants to, like, this is the biggest moment of his professional career. He just wants to go out there and get it done. Dricus, what's going on, man? We lost you there for a second, man.
Sorry about that, guys.
It's all good, buddy. So yeah, just the preparation for Sean in general. Like, he's a weird fighter to prep for. How did you get ready for this one, knowing what's on the line Saturday night?
Yeah, I mean, and like I said, my team is very capable. We watched his fights. We did all the studying we can do, but I mean, that's such a small part of the game. We mimicked his style, looked at his strong points, looked at his weak points, but ultimately it's about going out there and doing what you do as a fighter. I know Sean is a guy who doesn't watch tape. They say he doesn't watch tape, but I understand that. I can see that, how that works. It's not something that you're not going to be able to perform without doing that. For me personally, I read guys. I can read mannerisms. I can see, like when Izzy fought him, I could see Izzy was off just because of his mannerisms, the timing on his shots. If I watch you enough, I know exactly what you're going to do when you do it. I know your twitches. I know when that hand moves, you're throwing that punch. I know the amount of times you set up. I can start reading those. And that's because I love the sport so much, of watching hours and hours and hours of fight tape. But preparing for Sean Strickland, the most important preparation that we did, and for every single fight, is going out there and fighting like Dricus, not fighting on the reaction of Sean Strickland, not reacting to what he does, but making him react to what I do. And that's going to be the big factor in this fight. It's two very awkward styles. Everybody has labeled me as fighting very awkwardly, fighting very weird. It's a very different style to what people are used to, and the same with him. So you have two complete opposite styles. He has this calm, volume style, not a lot of power punches, but effective. He doesn't get hit, and he hits people, and that's a great thing to have. I mean, that's the name of fighting. Try and hit somebody and not get hit. He does that very well. But I hit more than he does. I do get hit a little bit more than he does. But with him being able to hit me and not being able to knock people out, he has the ability to knock anybody out. Make no mistake. Just he's not that prone to it. If I hit you, there's a very big probability you're going down. So it's going to come down to two weird styles and who's going to enforce their swing left or right. And I'm there to make sure that my style is enforced, and he's going to come and do the same. And what does that usually create? A clash in the middle of the cage, and a lot of money's worth for the fans.
Before we get you out of here, DDP, so like, how do you, if it goes the way you picture it in your mind, you finishing this thing quick? We get a quick finish. If you're yourself, you usually get people out of there quickly. That's how Dricus Du Plessis has been doing business. I know this is your first 5-round fight. Everybody makes a big deal out of it. Does this even go 5? Are you picturing 1-2? You're going to get him out of there.
Yeah, I'm taking this fight round by round once again. Obviously, fighting 5 rounds is something any fighter should consider, but it doesn't help you worry about round 4 and 5, but you lose round 1, 2, and 3. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be in a situation where you lose round 1 and 2 because you're worried about round 4 and 5, and you start to think about winning round 3 because now your opponent has momentum. Now, yeah, you have a gas tank, great. Now you have a little bit more left in the tank, but your opponent's confidence is through the roof. Yours is down. You have a cut. You understand what I'm saying when I say the first order of business is the first minute of the first round. The last order of business is the last minute of the last round. And taking it as it comes, fighting each minute to win each round, and taking it as it comes. Because if I'm going to be worrying about round 5 in the first round, I'm going to be losing round 1.
Right.
And if you lose a round, you lose a round. That's it. But you can't be worrying about the next round and the next round. Worry about the round you are in, and making sure that you are as effective as you possibly can be in round 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Good luck this weekend, man. Thank you so much for joining us. Dricus Du Plessis.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
He's fighting Sean Strickland on pay-per-view this week, ESPN Plus pay-per-view. Go check him on out, UFC 297. Best of luck to him.
Even though he says they have 2 awkward styles, they actually fight almost the opposite. Like one's a counterpuncher, one's, you know what I mean? He's picking and choosing. He's, tap, 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 tap. He's working it. And Dricus is, if he gets you in a corner, he's going to try to knock you out.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun one, man. I can't wait for Saturday. And my first pay-per-view can use the Hard Rock app.
Yeah, let's see if all that research comes in handy, dude. I'm be hitting you with some chili.
Hey,
peppers.
I will with some chili peppers. Man, can I just tell you that as long as and I don't even bet on it, but I always ask Tobin what he thinks, right? And he usually has a great beat on who does what and how this should work out, and be careful for this guy and watch out for this. But dude, somebody always get hit in the side of the head, and it's night. And that's the thing about fighting, is that it only takes one swing, one punch, one kick, and somebody could go night. And so you're always watching. As long as there's action, you better pay attention, because somebody could get hit.
We'll take a quick break. Back after this.
Spin.
Got into you.
All right. Tobin and Leroy back with you here.
Wow.
Let's get to some cat talk here, brought to us by our friends over at Celsius. Hockey fans, don't sit this one out when it's game time. Make Celsius a part of your play and get that energy up. Game day is fueled by Celsius Essential Energy Drinks, the official energy drink of
your Florida Panthers.
Cats lose last night.
In overtime.
Lost in overtime to the Detroit Red Wings. They lost 3-2. And tough. There's been 3 straight now winless games for the Cats. They've gone to overtime the last couple times around. Sam Reinhart did score shorty in the second period to give the Cats a 1-0 lead. 33 goals on the year for Rhino. Then it was evened up at a goal apiece. And then Gustav Forsling was able to give the Cats lead going into the third. They couldn't hold it. And then they end up losing in overtime. So let's go to the madman himself, Paul Maurice. Let's hear what he had to say last night after the tough loss to the Red Wings.
Okay, I think it was just the way that the change of. I don't want to answer your question. How about that? I'm not going to lie to you, but I don't want to answer that question.
Sure. Despite the outcome, do you think the team kind of got back to your identity a little more in this game?
I don't think we've been that far off in our last 3. I don't think we're giving up a whole heck of a lot. We're not finishing around the net as much as we'd like. But hard games, and the other team's battling hard. It was an unusual game. It wasn't particularly physical for... Anyway, yeah.
How did Lundell look having to step up?
Yeah, I liked his game. I thought Reinhardt's just been the best forward in so many ways for us. Played so well. I didn't mind that line at all.
And then just the last couple of games, you guys let a couple third period leads
Yeah.
slip away. I mean, what you got to do to kind of change that?
Yeah, that one's sitting staring right in your face. I mean, I think you can finish on some of the chances you can do, or you're a little heavier defensively, and then there's a couple other reasons too. So it's just, you know what, we've lost one, we've lost 2 in overtime. That's a 3-on-3 game or a 4-on-3 game. That's really not what the game of hockey. So I'm disappointed. You know, the thing that I'm most frustrated with tonight, I'm not answering. I'm frustrated that we're not far off our game. I really believe that.
I like to call this the hockey SPO, by the way, not trying to get fined.
Yeah.
And if I'm full of it, my analytics tell me that I'm right. So we're generating enough to win hockey games. We're not giving up a whole heck of a lot. We can be better. And you have to be in this league at this time of year because all these teams you face are scratching and clawing.
Yeah. Wow. I'll tell you what, Paul Maurice. First of all, Paul Maurice is basically telling you, not a true loss. Refs effed us.
I tell you what, you know, the Detroit Red Wings was the first professional hockey game I went to.
Where did you go see that, Mini? So
No.
Where did you see
In
that?
Detroit. When I was in Michigan.
Oh, when you were in Michigan.
They were really good.
Did you throw a squid on the ice?
No, I wouldn't messing with
Gross.
them.
That's
Come
for the
on.
intangibles.
Hey, yeah, come on, dude. First of all, you got to tow the squid around.
I went to Intangibles ToysRus yesterday.
What was it? What's intangibles?
Bass Pro Shop.
Did any of your people jump in the pool?
No, nobody jumped in the pool this time. Nobody jumped in the pool. It was in fact, the pool looked like it was freshly cleaned there at Bass Pro Shop.
So where do you go if you don't fish?
No, my son likes to fish. My son's getting into fishing, so I was getting him he's not listening, so I'm getting him a new fishing pole for his birthday on Saturday.
Oh,
so
we finally got him. We finally got him.
So that's what I was like, you know, he's got he's got the video games. It's like, let me give him something for real life. And
now you got to go take him fishing.
Yeah. That's the plan.
Are you gonna go just on like the
Let's go some piers, some creeks, some
Are
piers?
Are you gonna go where there's fish?
No, I'm not gonna go like take him DC fishing. I didn't get him one that that big.
When I used to take fines, we would go back by Atlantic in the Everglades. The problem is that you got to bring 27 extra hooks and some extra line because you're going to catch some of the nastiest fish, mudfish, garfish, might catch a gator, but you catching stuff. You just ain't catching bass or, like that.
Dade South says, do they have any Acme products there? I mean, probably. It's, I feel like they do have some kind of explosive section at Bass Pro Shop.
I just wait for you and Tommy to leave Bass Pro Shop with your fishing shirt, your fishing hat, and some glasses.
I'm not gonna lie, dude. I went by the arms section and I was like, some of these things. I mean, like there was one that like it was a revolver that looked like Bugs Bunny used it. I was like, who carries this? Stick him up, team.
Says bang.
You got original like 6-shooter.
Date's house says Tobin secretly bought a harpoon. Did I go to the harpooning section? I mean, I did see what they have there in the scuba side of things. It is outdoor world. You like to see. They do have some spear guns there. That's true. But I'm not looking at. I'm not. I'm happy with the Heat team.
Is that like
Everybody's
the
freaking
easiest
out.
way to fish?
Spear fishing?
Yeah.
I don't know. I tell you the thing I think you got to be nervous for is if you get one, I think you got to worry about sharks in the water around you.
No, but people do that. I see people in the.
Oh, you're talking about the bow, like bow fishing, like
yeah.
That probably that seems pretty easy. But there are people who actually will go in the water, Leroy, like with their snorkel with the spear gun.
Oh boy,
I believe J Fig's father does this. Papa
no,
Fig.
but here, J Fig tells us, look, I was once almost speared. That right there is the perfect reason why black folks don't get in the water with you clowns, right? you talk about.
What do you mean, dude?
If you told me, yeah, I accidentally speared my cousin, I'm not getting in no water with you.
You can't say that black people don't spearfish.
Yes, I can.
I don't think you can, dude. That's not. You don't know.
Come on, dude. Come on.
What?
First of all, black folks fish. They fishing to eat, right? And spears are expensive.
Spears are expensive. Like if you lose a
So, Mr. Figueroa doesn't use up. I just picture him just reaching in the water and just pulling out a fish.
What about the Bahamas? They spearfish in the Bahamas.
Do they?
Yeah, because I just Googled, do black people spearfish? And the only video that came up was Bahamas. Also, did you know there's a spearfish South Dakota?
You got a certain touch to your Googling. You know that.
Right. Just Google,
Not subtle.
Google is like response. Are you racist?
Google asked me who wants to know.
I've never been spearfishing. Do you have like a string at the end of the spear so you don't lose it? Because that's a good point. If you miss the fish, does it just go?
Yeah, it's on a string.
It's got to be on a string,
And
right?
You pull it up. You pull it up with the string.
Yeah, I think it uses some sort of like tension on the actual string itself. Because if not, I can imagine trying to throw a spear underwater. It's like punching in a dream.
Hold on, dude. Stop. Dude.
What?
Dude. Wait a minute. Could you imagine going fishing with Marcos and he's going, man, I've been throwing this spear. I can't get nothing.
Maybe that's how Tua can train for the wind. He can go throw underwater.
Ooh. Yeah.
Oh my
There you go.
goodness.
That's gonna be Tua's number one invention this year was jujitsu. Now it's like, what did you do this year, Tua? Underwater aerobics throwing.
Wow.
Dude, that just sounds stupid.
Next level.
No, it's not next level.
Mike, what can you say about Tua's development coming from the offseason? Well, I got to tell you guys, he has gills now.
Oh, my goodness.
Better than going to Maryland for the cold.
Wait, J-Fig, that sounds like an issue. I was snorkeling and the idiots came to us with the spears. That sounds like a
that's
felony. The way she makes it sound like stick them up.
Who was the people? Yeah, who are the spearfishers? Washington's owners?
I'm the captain now.
We'll take a quick break, get into some Heat talk. The Heat, they lose yesterday. We'll hear a little bit from everybody after that game and some of the latest stuff out there as far as trades are concerned. I'm not worried about it, but, I got to bring you guys the news. That's next.
15 minutes of heat is sponsored by Kendall Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Start the new year in a new ride with no payments for 90 days. Kendall Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram.com.
All right, welcome back. Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM. Take you guys up until 2 o'clock here on the show. Going to play a little Goosies, No Goosies later on this hour. You guys can get it on the chat, Miami 560 WQAM on YouTube and Twitch. Heat lose last night. They fall to the Raptors. This was our game recap.
Pretty much.
Game sucked, dude. What do you want to break that down? I mean, we could do that if you want to, but I mean,
there's nothing to break down.
Go do me a favor. Go look at the 3-point column. You guys can get the story of last night. Marcos, how long did you stick into that one?
I made it to halftime. Which is better than I probably should have, to be honest.
I was doing it, and then I had to record something afterwards, so I had it on my phone. I'm just like, my the Bally app. I'm not gonna lie here, dude. That Bally app can suck sometimes.
Oh,
I mean, it really does stink. And like, I'm watching, right, Leroy? So like, I have my phone on my laptop, like stand here, so I have it on the lower part. And so like, I'm chatting with somebody, and like, I have my eye down. I'm like, oh, Jovic, they're just go. Yeah. But then my phone, for some reason, just kind of kept going on a loop, but I didn't notice it, and I just like, 3 straight threes from Jovic. So I thought that he were making this massive comeback at one point. It was the same shot.
Don't you have DirecTV?
Not in here. Not in the garage. I don't have.
But you don't have streaming?
I do. It is streaming.
Yeah, but I got it on my phone.
That's where I was watching it. But the app stinks on Bally.
No, but does it? So it has nothing to do with direct. So
it just kept looping.
No,
I
but
don't
I'm
know.
saying here's what I'm saying. You have DirecTV. You can get it on the phone and watch the game there.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Instead of going to the Bally app.
All right. Well, either way, the app at this point, it was just looping. So I thought Jovic was going off, like he was like he was just taking over the game. And nope, it was just 1-3. He did have a sick move last night. I love watching him play. I'm so happy he's getting run now. Makes me happy. Like, the happiest part, like, look, Bam, Jimmy Tyler, Bam's shown some improvement this year, but I know these guys, like these guys have been the guys for 5 years, and I like watching them play, but everybody likes a little bit of newness to it, and I love watching the young guys. My favorite part of Heat games now, tell me who disagrees. Your favorite part of Heat games now are Jaime and Nikola.
Yes, I wish it was that last year.
Well, I do too, but damage is done.
All right.
Damage is done. But I mean, Leroy, when he does his little exciting no-look passes, woo!
Serbian special.
Oh, dude. He's just his skills, man. He's just I love watching him play. And then Jaime too with the footwork. Like they add a there's just an entertainment quality to their game. They're about theater, not just basketball. I love that about Jaime Jaquez and Nikola Jovic. Bam. I love Bam. Bam's got that pretty mid-range jumper. He's had some sick-ass shots this year. Jimmy, it's basically watching a bulldozer play basketball. He's just a very effective menace. It's not the prettiest thing in the world. I'll admit that. But I love watching him be a man's man and then just taunting players in their face. And then Tyler, he's got the feathery touch with the floater. The float mingo, if you will. But
-1.
Why?
Because it's stupid.
-1.
You tried to sneak it in. We put the kibosh on that before.
You want to hear
trying to sneak it in.
You want to hear Kyle Lowry after the game?
Sure.
Here's Kyle Lowry. This is what he had to say on where they stand right now.
It's kind of crazy because we have had, I think Spo said, 15 different players start, 22 different starting lineups. So it's kind of like hard to say, all right, we're here or we're not here. We haven't had our 3 guys play together in I don't know how many 10 games totals. and that's not a lot of repetition together. But, even though they've been together for the whole, last 5-6 years, but every year everyone's getting better, getting different, so it's challenges in trying to figure out, how to make sure that we get those guys going. They've only had 10 games together, but they're professional enough that we'll figure it out. So I don't know where we are. we're a hard playing team.
They are a hard playing team. Spacing's kind of a mess right now. I mean, it doesn't like I said, even after the win against Brooklyn, it was not pretty. It was not pretty. The offense is not flowing. Now, to be fair, the Heat, who have been one of the more efficient 3-point shooting teams, they don't take a lot, but they make a lot. That's kind of dipped the last couple of games. So that's going to make things look even uglier when you're not even making the few threes that you take, Leroy.
Yeah.
But
that, especially when other teams lighten it up.
Once Grady Dick hit 3-pointers, I was like, all right, this puppy's done.
Grady Dick.
Yep. Intangibles.
What if his name was Richard?
Well, his last name?
His first name.
His first name is Grady.
No, but what if it was Richard? It'd be
If
like
he-
Bo.
The double D.
We have nothing better to do.
I love that's what you took from all of this.
What? It's Tobin?
He's out here talking about Grady, and you're like, I wonder how would it be if his
You were
name
like, I
was
wonder if
Richard.
ever in the Dick family there was a Richard. Have to think, right? Somebody's dad was a jokester.
That's an intangible name, Richard. My brother's name is Richard. You know how many fights he's been in because they called him Dick?
How many? A lot?
I don't even know how they made that jump. Though.
He's 3 years younger than me, about 3 years younger than me, and everybody's scared of my brother.
Well, the name was the name before we used that as a term for the So I think it was just some Richard who ruined it for everybody.
Richard.
If you think
It's a
about
weird
it.
jump though. Like Jimmy, I can get, Jimmy James. That
Mhm.
makes sense. Even William, Bill, I get that one. I don't know about this other one. This one seems like a vast leap to make all of a sudden.
Well, Google it.
I don't think I'm allowed to Google anything anymore.
You need to
based
stop Googling
Yeah,
things.
you need to
please.
chill.
Yeah,
Did you guys
you don't know how to ask Google nicely.
Did you guys see that? You guys see that Jimmy Butler's country album? He's up to 60 tracks.
Oh.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
60.
That's usually how it goes.
He wants 200 tracks before he can pick, I guess, from the best of them. 60 tracks, though. That's a lot.
That means he's never gonna come out with something.
You think
That's
he's
not
just
true, Marcos.
he's just
You
a
need to
pro?
stop that.
He's gonna be like Prince. Like we'll just when Jimmy one day will be like, oh, he had all this unreleased music.
Yeah, we're gonna get albums, and he's gonna be the best of our time. I'm positive.
I think so too. I really wish I wish he would sing on one of them though. He's just gonna be country DJ Khaled, which I guess is cool, but
He probably will have like a drop here and there.
I need something more though. I need the way that he is like advertising this. I need some vocals laid down.
Yeah, like
Sound like you're gonna be playing the banjo or something. The way he making it sound.
Let me tell you about the time Josh Hart intentionally hurt my ankle.
Okay.
He took our championship away.
First of all, there is no way in hell Jimmy singing like that.
If he's trolling, perhaps.
We got to get him to the chili cook-off.
Oh yeah,
Do
dude.
they even do that still?
Not anymore.
Do they?
So
They should do that.
Got to bring it back.
Chili cook-off. Man, all I need to know is chili. Love chili.
You want to talk about the intangibles paradise? It's chili cook-off.
Oh,
remember when we did at the car debauchery?
Sure do.
We had to do the what was it? The chili.
Yeah. What was gumbo? It was gumbo, wasn't it?
It was gumbo. Yeah.
Was it
yeah,
gumbo taste off?
Yeah. Y'all can't listen. I was the only one who should have judged it. They brought my wife and Tobin, who don't know nothing about gumbo.
I know gumbo, dude.
The
He knows no
artsman and the
he
Canadian.
knows food. He knows food.
I know what I like.
Palmetto Ford, we know gumbo.
Rome says Buckets is being a diva and it shows in the team's effort. He just won them the game like on 2 days ago on his comeback game. He was amazing. He can get to the free throw line a gazillion times. Guys got to chill out. Every time the Heat lose a game, you guys are like, "I don't like watching Jimmy Butler that much." Are you
They
kidding
get that
me?
from you.
But I've never said this about Jimmy Butler.
No, you've never. You listen. To be clear, no, you haven't. But some of the shenanigans that you pull when the Heat lose, now all of your loyal followers, they do the same thing. They don't do it the way you do it.
Let me tell
Now
you
you're gonna get
about.
mad at them for doing the same crap you do.
Let me tell you about the regular season. It don't really matter because playoff Jimmy comes to play when it matters. The playoffs.
What game does he usually come back? Is it game 41?
He came back. He came back when told. He won the game again.
The deep dive. He's gonna have a song titled just after that return game. Feel like he's gonna give us a little Easter eggs in his album.
I don't know.
I can't wait for this, dude. I really can't wait for this. Kane Brown. I know he had a studio session with him.
He did.
Let me tell you about a giant Serbian fella. And I told Spo, stop playing him at the 5. Now we're making my point forward.
Can I ask you a question?
What? Why are you ruining my song?
Because here's why. Do you have to sound country to sing country?
Yeah. And you also have to say, let me tell you about. That's how every song goes.
But wait. So that's why, well, Eminem didn't try to sound black.
No. Jelly Roll, he doesn't is he country? Would you consider him country?
Yeah, he's country, but he's like,
sounds a little
Imagine if he gets Jelly Roll as a feature in one of his songs.
I only pass the band when I need a favor.
Ooh, call that the pick and roll.
The pick and roll. The pick and roll.
Solid, dude. Yeah, not even more excited.
Really?
Yeah.
Jelly Roll, he does everything too.
Everything.
Like,
he's
you
gonna
can
be
tell
at
he's-
Rockville too.
He's a fresh new artist that signed up for a lot of stuff because he didn't know he was gonna blow up like this.
Wow.
And now he got all these commitments out there.
I saw him speaking to Congress the other day. It's like, wow, this guy's everywhere.
Really?
He needed
No,
a
you
favor.
didn't.
I did, I promise not. It was. I'm gonna send you the video. It was very moving. It is very moving. He speaks well. Not as well as Jimmy Butler, but he speaks well.
What is wrong with y'all?
Ethan Schmolnick says just a couple of Dumbos enjoying some gumbo. Thank you, Schmidt.
Dude, don't knock gumbo, man. It's delicious.
Leroy Horde, we know gumbo.
That's right. Let me tell you something. I can hook up a pot of gumbo now.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna play a little Goosies, no Goosies coming up next. Oh, wow. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Tobin and Leroy here with you. 560 WQAM. Take you up until 2 o'clock here on the program. Frog Boy?
Yes, sir.
You're kind of related to a goose. I mean, both live in ponds. So what do you got today for Goosies, no Goosies?
Except Marcos doesn't fly.
Yeah, but gooses on the water. Under the water, frogs.
So that's basically saying me and you are samesies because we live on Earth.
Yeah,
No.
that's exactly what that's saying. That's super offensive to the frog community. I want you to know.
Is
that.
it?
Yeah. And you know
Is it?
what?
You both have web feet.
Oh,
Fox
you gotta
10.
play- yeah, that's a good
Fox
one.
10.
That's a good one right there. When you're right, you're right.
Point for Tobin.
Don't platypuses have web feet too?
Sure
Oh,
do.
platypuses are weird though. I don't
Weird
even wanna-
ass animal, dude. But I'd
Weird.
love to have a pet one.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Like if you lived in Australia,
Gary?
like if I was an American and moved to Australia and I wasn't used to that, like you wouldn't want to have a pet kangaroo.
No.
Oh, they're
You see
aggressive.
some of the damage they.
But if I raised it as my own, like a puppy, I feel like the kangaroo would do things for me.
Hey, this here. I'm gonna explain this once and for all white folks.
I had a deer once.
Right? There's no such thing as a cute and cuddly wild animal.
You sure?
Positive.
Mm.
Did you see what happened to Siegfried and Roy? Trained them tigers forever, and one got his face bit off.
All I need. What about a wallaby? Like a smaller version of a kangaroo.
Dang.
What?
Yeah, I'm in.
Little wallaby. You know.
They can
I
get
might-
swallowed too.
I don't think wallabies can get swollen. If they are, it's like fighting a flyweight. You know.
Because they're about 3 feet tall.
Be like taking on Mighty Mouse Johnson.
Wait, so
Wallabies get swole.
wallaby is like a miniature kangaroo?
Yeah.
I need to see a picture of this. Hold on.
A wallaby? I'll get you a picture. We'll get you a picture of a wallaby. But first, Marcos, what do we got for Goosies? No
There is
Goosies
a
today.
Google search. Is a wallaby a good pet?
Ooh, check this out. I spelled it wrong.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Me too.
It looks just like a kangaroo.
Is a wallaby
They're
a friend?
wild animals and not encouraged as domestic pets.
No, I know
Sorry,
that.
Tobin.
Here, can I just tell you?
Mm.
Over the history of time, right? White folks have always tried to domesticate wild animals and get their face chewed off. Stop it.
I think they're herbivores.
Oh,
Huh? Kangaroos are too. That don't stop them from beating the brakes off of people.
I would admit a kangaroo can get a little big, so I wouldn't go red kangaroo. That's why I said wallaby, like a toy version of it. You know, dude.
Well, they're only legal
I just
in
picture
9 states.
you right now. You know what? Here's it. Let me set the scene for you. Tobin
Well, it's gotta be one of
and
those.
family, they go to Australia. They see a wallaby. Ooh, it's so cute. Tobin goes to pet it. It raises up and kicks him in the face and knocks his ass out.
Hard to say. What do we got today, Marcos, for Goosies, no Goosies?
What the hell is
All
this?
right, enough of the malarkey. All right, let's get to it.
Seriously.
Sports. First on our docket today, Mike Tomlin. Not sure if you've heard of him. Never had a losing season. He has some contract shenanigans going on. I want to know if this contract shenanigans give you Goosies or no Goosies. Roll the tape.
Anyone?
Mike, you have a year left on your contract.
You want me to tell you how that played out? I'm going to tell you exactly what happened. He said, folks, I'm not going to answer any questions about my contract. We can talk about the game. I'll answer questions about the team, but I'm not going to talk about my contract.
Well, that was also after their season ended. Would you like to see what he said this morning?
Sure.
In a little better mood today, man. Anybody got any contract questions?
That gives me the Goosies.
You know what?
That's good.
I 100% hate with all my being when a guy that's been this good for a franchise seems to get a bum rap, right? Like the fans have been trying to fire this dude for the last 5 or 6 years. Winning a Super Bowl is hard, okay? But here's what you can do to make your odds a little bit better. That is, be in the hunt at the end of the year every year. Those teams that are there every year eventually win. But if you go up and down and change and start over and rebuild and new quarterback and new head coach, and you go back, that process starts all over again. Understand how hard it is to win a Super Bowl. All these teams and all these fan bases that just think, oh, we can't win a Super Bowl, time to get some new people. It's hard to do.
For the record, he did say today he is coming back. There was some speculation, would he move on somewhere else? He's coming back. He does say Kenny Pickett's going to have some competition, though.
I'll say.
I mean, the best version of that team was with the other guy.
Rudolph?
With Rudolph, right? But isn't Mason Rudolph the one that
Myles Garrett?
Myles Garrett, yeah. Right.
Yep. J-Fig, you got the Goosies from Mike Tomlin?
That made me laugh. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say Goosies.
Goosies. Marcos?
Classic.
Goosies galore.
By the way, for our YouTube audience, here's a wallaby.
Okay.
Wow, it even has a little pouch.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, wouldn't you want that as a pet?
That's adorable.
So is that buy one, get one?
Oh, I mean, I don't know. It's a good question. I guess if you buy a pregnant one.
Oh.
No, I want it with the little
They
baby.
range from $1,000 to $4,000.
Eventually, what's the price?
$1,000 to $4,000.
Silly
I
sauce.
googled it.
Hey, Glenn!
Oh, okay. All right.
Buy us a wallaby.
Really?
What's number 2, Marcos?
Number 2 is a very, very special moment. UD getting his jersey retired tomorrow in the Raptors.
Yeah, Goosies galore.
Yes.
Silly question.
Yeah,
That's
silly
very
question.
easy.
Silly question.
Galore.
Silly question.
Silly question. Silly question.
Yeah, how could I?
Silly question.
Silly question.
It's a waste of time. Of course, it's Goosies galore.
Wait, you know what? Question. Instead of putting his jersey in the Raptors, shouldn't they just put it in that empty chair at the end?
Hey,
minus one. Minus one, you bastard.
-1.
It's been a long time, Leroy, but you know what? -1.
For old time's sake.
For old time's sake. Come on, baby. Like
Come on, baby.
He is Heat royalty. But the jokey jokes still gotta come, right?
I don't like it. Marcos, number 3.
Number 3. Tobin, you may want to close your ears for this. You know, I don't want to tempt you with anything. But Scary Terry, known Heat killer Terry Rosier, his preferred destination happens to be the 305. Does this idea give you goosies or no goosies?
I didn't hear who you were talking about, but let's just say hypothetically somebody's destination was Miami, their preferred destination. Like
Hey!
Whoa!
I mean, I wouldn't be like, oh, I'm not that guy anymore, you know.
Yeah.
I'm not,
-1 for attempt.
I'm just saying.
Here's my deal.
-1.
No goosies, because Scary Terry was Scary Terry 5 years ago.
He's putting up some good numbers, Leroy.
Is he?
Oh, he's like 26 a game or something right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so you look.
How would you
guy,
know?
wait, hold on. For a guy who's not whaling, he certainly seems to be up on other stats.
Well, we just played the Hornets, did a little deep dive into the game. I'm a deep diver, 24 a game. I didn't mean to exaggerate. 24.
24 games, 7 assists, just about 4 rebounds.
Shooting efficient too.
Not bad.
P.S. UD is going to be on Cran's Corner today.
Oh, is he? Oh, nice. Damn.
Just a little FYI.
Hey, last
Thank
time
you.
we had UD on, before he left, he made it.
We don't have to talk about that. We don't have to talk about
He
that.
made it a point.
We don't have to talk about that.
He goes, "Hey Tobin, you couldn't get up that little ramp."
The what?
When even when he tried to run up the ramp.
The what?
To say that.
The what?
Look at dude. Look at the strain on your face and on your feet.
It happens sometimes, dude. Like, look, Tyreek Hill gets jammed to the line. It happens. Happens to the best of us.
Dude, you could have stuck a rocket ship on your butt. There was no way you was getting up that ramp.
I've gotten up that ramp before.
Look at that angst on your face.
I know. It happens.
And that's not even counting the stress on your feet. He said, somebody said, look like that old Bigfoot.
What were we talking about? Oh, Terry Rosier.
Whoa, you can't be saying things like that.
Terry Rosier. Look, I mean, I'm not wanting it to happen or willing it to happen, but like, if a guy likes Miami, that's Goosies to me. I mean, that's nice. That's good news. Who doesn't love it down here? Wow.
Right.
What about you, Leroy?
I already said no Goosies.
Oh, J-Fig?
No Goosies.
Nope.
Wow, interesting. Marcos?
I'm gonna say no Goosies, but keep an eye open.
No Goosies.
Keep an eye on it.
Keep an eye on it.
Keep a pulse,
Yeah.
Go check on it every once in a while.
I'm doing this for your protection, Tobes.
Thanks, man.
Because the last time you went all in on a player that wanted to be in Miami, it didn't work out so well.
It didn't work out so well. You're
I'm
right.
protecting my boy. I'm like, listen, no
From your
Goosies
own
with this.
feelings.
I may feel differently if he actually gets here, but I'm not doing this. I mean, do you remember when Kawhi was a free agent and you said you saw him at Chipotle?
I did. Oh, what a time. Please trade for Kawhi.
Oh, that Duncan would have been gone 2 years ago.
I don't think Duncan was even on the Heat yet. When that's an OG whale.
You traded him before he got here.
I think Kawhi is the original whale. I think he's the original whale, like the original one where I was like,
no, Jimmy.
No,
it was Kawhi then Jimmy.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Marcos, what's number 4?
Number 4 today. The divisional round weekend. We got some foosball coming up. Goosies or no Goosies, Tobin?
No Goosies, simply because Tony Romo's going to ruin it.
No Goosies.
Usually it's my favorite weekend of playoffs because it's the most competitive and there's the most football, but it ends with Tony Romo, and I know he's going to ruin it. So no Goosies. Leroy?
I definitely got the Goosies. This is the best weekend of the playoffs. And I only got past this weekend once in my career.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a tough one.
Yeah.
Tough nut to crack.
No, but as far as the intensity, as far as the teams that are available, there's no more teams that limped in or backed in. These are all teams that have been playing really good towards the end of the year.
J-Fig, you got the Goosies for this weekend's slate of football?
No. I watch, but I don't have Goosies.
No Goosies.
Wow.
Frog Boy?
Yeah, it's fair. It's going to be good games, but the Dolphins are out, dude. I got no Goosies.
No Goosies.
Wow.
Yeah.
This very rarely happens.
Sorry.
Yeah, but it's football, baby.
You can't just say it's football, baby. Like that's not. It's that doesn't make me feel better.
I'm not fully invested anymore.
Oh, Jim, it's football, baby.
J-Fig, me neither. But this is like, as far as playoffs go, this is the most exciting weekend of playoff football.
Give us one more, Frog Boy.
That's viral sensation, Frog Boy, to you, with over 350,000 views across all platforms. I want to know if being a viral sensation gives you Goosies or no Goosies, Tobin.
I mean, I'm not a viral sensation, so no Goosies. Like what? Enough. What?
We can tell.
No Goosies.
Leroy, does being a viral sensation?
All I know that Marcos, you have set the tone.
Yeah.
So the next piece you come out with, you better not pull an Adele.
That's standards now.
I'm no Goosies to viral. I'm not viral. I don't
Goosies.
really care about it, but you know, you can say Goosies because it's you.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Don't spoil. We'll never know. We'll never know
Yeah.
who knows what I'm gonna say.
J Fig, you got the Goosies for being a viral sensation. If you were a viral sensation,
Don't really care about that, but I do
But
care
she
about
can't be a
Marco,
viral sensation.
But
because she
hold
crops
on.
everybody out of the picture but her.
Okay. But I was gonna go ahead and say, why, if you're a viral sensation, why are you just a one-hit wonder?
That's
yeah,
You're putting yourself down there already.
It's been a day and I haven't done anything. I'm already on the decline.
No,
fame is
hey,
quick.
No, you gotta
I'm
keep
telling
on.
you.
Keep
I'm
on
telling
going.
you, with your next piece,
Yeah.
right? Your next hit, you better not pull a Adele.
Yeah, it's got to be good. Now the
Yeah.
pressure's on.
Yep.
Apparently, I'm well known in the bird community.
that's true. Marcos, what about you?
I think this is gonna be hard. I'm not sure. Maybe it's Goosies galore. dude. Viral sensation. Famous, man. Famous.
Well, there you go. One other viral sensation. Leroy, why don't you tell us a little bit about your boy, Bernie Kosar,
Yes,
and
I
some
will.
Kosar's coffee?
You know, you guys know BK is my guy, right? I've been friends with him for over 30 years. One of the things that, you know, I enjoy about Bernie, he's the most positive guy that I know. And he's been through a lot, you know, over 40 surgeries, over 100 concussions, and took a lot of pills, stuff like that. He said, you know what? He realized that food is medicine and changed what he put in his body. So he started creating wellness products. And now we have coffee to offer. It has vitamin D in it, which we are all deficient. Most of us are deficient in vitamin D. And resveratrol, which is a miracle antioxidant and an anti-inflammatory. This combination of ingredients is exclusive to Kosar Coffee, and you can get yours at kosarcoffee.com to order your game-changing coffee. And if you know Bernie, you know how positive he is. Here's what he ends every conversation with. You deserve to be healthy because you matter. So go to kosarcoffee.com to order your game-changing coffee.
Bounce is back. Boy is back.
I know y'all miss the bounce. Need to bounce for the section, you know? Let's get it in. Yeah, your dude is back. Maybach truth is back. Tell the whole world the truth is back. You ain't gotta argue about who.
Show him one more time, Fig.
Oh, I didn't see that, J Fig. My bad. I was trying to load up something. Welcome back, everybody.
Why do you fidget?
He's working. He's
I'm
working.
I'm doing stuff. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
What
Sorry.
does it have to do with your mouth?
Why don't you just start the pro segment then if you can't hear me?
I
Why
mean,
do you
because
why do you just sit there dumbfounded? Like, oh, what am I doing? If I'm clearly on mute, you can take the reins of it. Why don't you take the reins of it, my guy?
Hey, you're -1.
Listen, here's the deal.
You're lashing out.
Are we supposed to just come back and say, oh, Tobes is probably on mute, so let's start without him? Because a professional would know, I'm on mute.
No way.
There you
He's
go.
doing it again.
Now he's really lashing out. Now he's really
Okay.
Now he's really lashing out. And it's hard to
I
read
just,
lips. It's hard to read lips because you have none.
Wow.
You're lashing out.
This is lashing out. That's lashing out.
Just lashing out. You're just
That's
lashing out.
-1.
Give us some headlines brought to you by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Super Center. Why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford.
Ain't no trucks.
First headline, Leroy's lashing out. He's a bastard.
Not lashing out.
Lashing out, dude.
You expect me to read your lips? Can't. Dude, hey, game changer. Okay?
Codes our coffee?
World famous.
Oh.
Next time I come to work, we getting it.
World famous what?
That's the chocolate.
It's called it. They have 30 different kinds of egg rolls.
Oh, yes, I have. Yeah,
Oh.
there's one right next to the stadium.
Yeah, right.
What?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
There's one in Hollywood and there's one in Fort Lauderdale.
Yep, they
it's
got chicken Parmesan egg rolls.
Yeah.
Mac and
Whoa,
cheese.
whoa, whoa,
But here's what
What's
they
it
do.
called?
So the egg roll is like this big, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And they slice it the long way and it's opened up and they give you 2 of them. So it looks like 4.
Yeah.
Right? Let me tell you, we have gone there 3 times already.
It's just called World Famous?
World famous.
Yeah, it's in Miami Gardens. I'm looking
Miami
it up.
Gardens. So I know they got Uber or whatever. I'm telling hey, so the first time I got
Never heard of this.
hibachi.
Oh,
Chicken
yeah.
and steak, right? Fine's got chicken and waffles.
Chicken and waffles. That was good.
Right. But then they have a red velvet waffle, chicken and waffles. That's just regular breakfast.
Yeah. They got these juices too that'll
No. The tropical, yeah.
You and your
For real.
juice. Of course
tell
you
you
know that.
If your blood sugar wasn't high before,
No, it's not. It's not sweet like that though. You know, normally they make it really, really sweet, but they put like pineapple crunches in, like pieces in it. What? Dude,
Okay.
I'm
What
telling-
did you think of this now? Were you just reminded by it? Because
No,
now
because I was talking to Rebecca and she's like, world famous?
oh, okay.
I'm like,
She can't
I'm
use my code, not after last night.
no, you can't use your code for nothing. In fact, they want you to pay extra. I called Papa John's. They said $28. I'm like, I just got a small pizza. Yeah, the heat loss double.
Listen, you deserve to pay
Hard.
double after last night's Heat game. By the way, Rumorville, Lakers not interested in moving Austin Reaves in a potential deal for DeJounte Murray.
What?
So they want intangibles for DeJounte Murray.
I think they like Austin Reaves. Austin Reaves is a good player.
They like a scoring guard intangibles, huh?
I mean, he's a good player.
He is a good player.
No, he is a good player.
I mean, he's not better than Tyler Hero.
I think he
Why?
gets.
Can I ask you a question? Why did you have to compare intangibles?
You know why?
No, I don't.
Let's see. I have to see like what is he averaging this year? Because
I mean, if you were to say though, Marcos, like if they're not interested in trading for Austin Reaves, one would ask, like, would the Hawks be interested in somebody else similar to Austin Reaves but better?
Okay.
One would ask that. One would ask that.
Look. So I didn't realize that
One
you were
would
working.
ask that. But I'm not.
I didn't realize you were working an angle.
I'm not working an angle. I'm just saying, like one would wonder. One would ask.
For like 2 hours. Okay. For 2 hours, I have been sitting here going, I don't have a gap in my teeth. And then realized it was a chocolate chip. Because it looked like I had a gap in my teeth. I'm like,
I've never noticed it.
Interesting.
Right.
Matthew Kachuk vibes.
Nope. So yeah, this place is awesome, by the way.
All right. We'll have to check it out.
I wish I lived closer.
I had let me see the ones I had. I had the hibachi one. You can get it with chicken. You can the hibachi deluxe comes with shrimp, or you just get regular hibachi chicken, and the dipping sauce is awesome. Then I got ready for this one. Cheeseburger with mac and cheese.
Wow.
Yeah.
Something, dude.
This guy barely averages more points than Dante DiVincenzo.
Right.
Why is he so coveted?
Because Lakers. And like one would have to ask Marcos, not me, because I'm happy with my team.
Oh, you've already started. See, here's
what
you're falling for it, dude.
What am I falling for?
Just because you go one would.
Yeah.
We know that's you.
That's not me. I couldn't be clearer when I'm telling you right now, I'm not trading Tyler Hero for DeJounte Murray. Like people will probably be out there and be like, trade Tyler Hero for DeJounte Murray, but I'm not going to do that because I don't want to do that. I love Tyler Hero. Okay. He's got the floater. He's got the runner. So people were out here saying Tyler Hero doesn't look cool with the headband, and I'd rather have DeJounte Murray. I'm not subscribing to what you're selling. Sorry. Take me off your auto bill because I ain't subscribing to that.
Who's out here talking about a headband?
People, JP.
Yeah.
People.
Twitter spaces, dude.
I don't want to talk about that because Tyler Hero, that's my guy.
Yeah. So what you don't?
You're doing it. You're doing it.
What am I doing?
You're trying to get in the club without paying the cover.
I'm not trying to get in anywhere, dude.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You're trying to sneak in the back. We ain't talking about whales. We ain't harpooning. And then you try to find these little caveats.
I'm not trying to find any caveats. I'm just letting people know. I'm just letting people know what's out there. You got to keep the people informed here.
Here's what you do. I'm gonna tell you. Here's what's gonna happen. Right? The Heat are gonna make a trade, and you're gonna backtrack and say always wanted them.
No. Depends on the trade.
Hard to say.
It's not hard to say. I mean, you're probably right. I'm gonna trust the organization. I'm gonna trust the Heat in the front office.
So I ask you if you trust the Heat.
Yep.
Do you think when's trade down? February 11th or something like that? 8th. By the time February 8th gets here, will the Heat make a trade? Because I don't think Pat Riley thinks they're good as they're currently constructed.
I think they need some help at guard. I don't think that their point guard.
So that means yes.
I don't know. I'm just telling you, I think they need a little bit of a boost there.
Then that means yes, they're looking for a boost.
I don't know what they're looking for. You're acting like I'm in these talks with Pat Riley, and I don't know.
But you know Pat Riley. You've been around him. You've talked to him. You've seen how he operates.
I was dazzled by his.
Is he going to be satisfied going Pat into the second half of the season?
I don't
know the answer. That's why
I don't know, because I think they have a strong belief in what they have already. I think that they think with the improvement of Jaime and Jovic, I think they feel like they're going to have a big improvement anyway. But I am concerned with how this starting lineup is meshing together, even though they've had, and I'm talking about specifically what they did last night, and I'm specifically talking about the backcourt, because if Tyler's going to be in this point guard role, this was what we talked about at the start of the season anyway, how Tyler was going to be the point guard. There was this whole debate about Kyle Lowry. Was Kyle Lowry going to be that guy? And it never really became an issue because everybody was hurt all the time, So now I'm like, okay, after a terrible start to the season when everybody was healthy, then everybody got hurt and they kind of just had to deal with it. And now everybody's back together. Is that dynamic going to work? And Kyle Lowry has been putting up a lot more 3-point performances than he has 13-point performances lately. And so I'm just wondering, as far as a fit, is it best to have him there? And I don't know.
But is that but here's the thing you have to identify. Is that because of his skill set or by choice? Like he's choosing to be a facilitator because when he doesn't, he puts the ball in the
Well, you
basket.
can't choose to go out there and just get cardio. It's gotta. You gotta find.
He's been doing that since he's been here, though.
I know.
We've had these conversations about Kyle since he's gotten here. That when nobody else is playing, he balls out. But when everybody else is playing, he won't even shoot.
J-Fig wants to trade him.
J-Fig.
I know. She said it.
Mix me in your shenanigans.
Can I just say this, J-Fig?
There was a little look in her face.
This is nothing, no knock or whatever.
Are you going to comment on my skin?
No.
Oh.
No, why? What are you
right
doing?
up your alley, Leroy.
No, it's not. But I'm going to say, of all the colors in the world.
I knew
No,
knew you were
listen.
talking about it.
No, of all the colors in the world, I would have never guessed that you would select that color for your nails. That's it.
That's so random.
I know, because I'm
Why?
thinking black, some kind of dark color, red, and you went like.
This is my second favorite color.
Does it look like Marcos flies the Death Star?
Yeah. Yeah.
What's lashing out?
Or you about to do a collaboration with The Weeknd.
I got to break there, Luke Flywalker.
15 Minutes of Heat is sponsored by Kendall Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Start the new year in a new ride with no payments for 90 days. Kendall Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram.com.
All right, 15 minutes of heat for you here. 560 WQAM. Talked enough about last night's game. I want to talk about tomorrow. Tomorrow night, Leroy, Udonis Haslam night at the arena. The big question, do you think UD cries during the jersey retirement ceremony?
No.
Really? Wrong.
UD don't cry.
I think he's going to get some feels, dude.
All right.
Because if I know the Heat,
you can get feels, but you don't cry.
If I know the Heat and I know game ops, okay?
Okay.
Heat are going to have a trick up their sleeve. They'll have a trick up their sleeve. Whether it be the kids doing a little montage or introing something. The Heat play dirty when it comes to making their players cry. So there'll be something I think that they got going on. I don't know what it is. I don't have any hints. I'm just going on track record. Feel like Udonis Haslam is going to get some waterworks going.
He's going to cry, dude. I'm going to cry. What?
You should cry.
Are you going to cry?
No, I can't. I'm a working member of the press.
You got to cry, dude.
I'm a professional.
Udonis Haslam, man.
I'm boots on the ground. I can't act like that. You know, you guys already think I'm a fan with good access, and then I'm not a real member of the media, which I don't appreciate. You know, I work very hard. You know, I'm trying to maintain a professional demeanor the entire time. And you guys think that I should act like a cartoon character while I'm at the games.
Yeah, you're right. Ira Winderman's
just out of curiosity, Tobes.
Yeah.
Where do we get that from?
I don't know. It's a good question.
He used to have it very memorized too.
Yeah, you go, hey, the people want what they want. Remember that saying?
I mean, I'm gonna be eyes open, you know, scoping things out. I tell you what, I better not see at that game tomorrow night. Mike McDaniel.
You still on that?
I better see. You know where he better be right now? He better be in the lab. That's where he better be.
Would you give him this face if you saw him?
No, this would be my face if I saw Mike McDaniel. All right, hone in on me.
Ready.
All right. This is just for our Twitch and radio and Twitch and YouTube audience. If I saw Mike McDaniel, I'd be like,
wow.
Disgust?
Wow. That's a scoff. Is that not a scoff?
It's a scoff. Yeah, I would scoff.
I'm gonna think that you think he smells.
Well, I mean, if he is referring to his offense in the last month of the season, I am.
I don't know if he
But
smells.
when you walk past him, you go ahead and say, "You think it's the smell, right?" And then you say, you give him an explanation.
If I see Tua at the game, let me give him this look.
Let me see. I gotta see this one. Okay. Let me see.
It's very subtle.
You know what that look tells me? Oh, you're the only one who didn't get your report card today. Really, huh?
It's really a look of, you have to show me something.
Oh, okay.
You have to show me something.
All right.
I've had his back.
Yeah.
Show me something.
He owes you money, and you know he knows, but no one wants to say anything about it.
Yeah. Like I'm not gonna make a scene here. All right, Tua, but you owe me something.
Okay.
What does he owe you?
I like these facial expressions. I like to diagnose your facial expressions. That's good.
That's what I'm owed. That's what I'm owed.
That's
just what I want to make that note. If I see them at the Heat game tomorrow.
Okay, last one.
Who just passed by?
Who else? Who passed by?
Tyreek Hill.
Oh.
Tyreek Hill?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get if I see Tyreek Hill, I give him this look.
Okay. So essentially,
that look is. We all know Tyreek. I'm sorry.
So essentially, you're telling him he can enjoy the game.
Enjoy the game, Tyreek. Tyreek can enjoy the. You tell me a Dolphins player. I'll tell you if they can come to UD night and enjoy the game. Tyreek can enjoy the game. Okay,
right.
He can enjoy the game.
Caleb Phillips, huh?
He's hurt, of course. Like if he, I wouldn't go there with your comfortable watching a game, but if he wants to, he can watch.
Well, at this point, he should be fine.
Yeah, he should be fine.
It's
so
been a couple of months.
Not his
I just
fault.
have to give you a positive.
Schmidt says, Leroy, can Eli Apple enjoy the game tomorrow?
I don't want him nowhere near no other sport in this town. The hell you doing here?
What
This look I'm gonna give.
Give me the face.
Are you serious right now? Are you serious?
Oh, God.
That would be like, I'm gonna go to Pat.
I thought you were frozen for a second.
Who let his ass in? He bought a ticket.
I
don't care. No.
Eli
We
Apple's-
only want defenders up in here.
Eli Apple, if he was a basketball player and some guy just took his ankles, but that guy messed the layup, he'd just be on the ground like, got him. Got him.
Hey, dude, can I just tell you, this is a problem in the NFL. This is a problem in the NFL that guys get burnt up, but it's an incomplete pass. No, not on my watch.
I love how your shirt is also pretty accurate with that.
Nope, not today. Nope. But I mean, are you amazed watching this on a weekly basis?
It's crazy.
Like, dude, you got roasted.
Yep.
Oh, Eli.
I mean, I will say, like, in some of these rules to play defense, they're not allowed to do anything, but like, you got to know there's a fine line, and Eli Apple, he crosses that line all the time when it comes
What if you
to
call Sanders?
Jason Sanders. If I saw Jason Sanders, be like,
I think he got back. He got back.
Be like-
I'm gonna be honest with you.
I'd look at him and be like,
Okay.
well, pretty good.
But like, no, you know what? You look at Jason. After last year, you owed me something, and thank you. I got it. I got
It's the same.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the same. Like, I gave him the Tua look last year, which was
show me something.
And he
Hey,
did.
but you're giving it to. I don't. Can we look?
Show me
Can
something.
we stop this?
Show me.
Show
The
me
guy led the league in passing, and you giving him stink eye?
Nah.
no, it's not stink eye. It's just
That is stink eye.
Mike McDaniel. I'm giving stink eye to. I'm like,
Let's give it up to him. Talk about Lord. Yay! And then he walk by you, and you go,
oh, don't show him on the jumbotron. If you showed him on the jumbotron, you think he gets booed or cheered?
cheers.
You think so? I think it's a mix. I really think it's a
I
mix.
feel like it'd be a mixture of things.
Yeah. it's a
Maybe
mix.
if it was
Game-
before this.
if there's any chance that he won't be, Game Ops got to be ready.
Agram says, "We'll get him next time, Mr. Hill."
All right, now Christian Wilkins shows up.
Oh yeah.
How you
Christian.
Please don't leave me. You better buy that man beer.
Hey.
Dude.
First of all, you ain't gonna be able to do none of that because he gonna be playful anyway. That is, I'm telling you, every team has one of those dudes, too big and playful. And yeah,
Actually,
John Randall was the guy on my team.
truthfully, if I saw Christian Wilkins at the Heat game, I'd be like Heat in 5 because he's a Celtics fan.
That's true.
Okay.
I'd buy him
What
one of
about-
those Papa John's pizzas.
But then I'd be like, please don't leave.
yeah,
What
for
about his
sure.
best friend?
Zach Sealer?
Yeah.
I'd be like,
Okay.
on it, boy.
Oh no.
No, you know what? If Zach came, we'd all have to go, peace. That's a big dude.
Just say, catch me at Bass Pro Shops later.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I was surprised I didn't see him.
Surprised you didn't see him either.
Man, they sell a lot of coolers.
Do they?
Oh,
I gotta-
the intangibles love a cooler.
They got grills over there. I need a grill.
They got grills. They got fire pits. They got everything.
Hey, I got a question. You think I can grill on my second floor balcony, but it's not really a balcony? It's actually the hallway.
Oh, so you have like one of those concrete outdoorish.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. I wouldn't do that.
Ah,
I wouldn't do that.
Not a
fire
close up.
hazard?
Yeah.
Ooh, close set.
What if it's
It's
a
a
close
close
set? Oh, if it's a close set, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, then you're good. Then you're good. But yeah, I remember that when I lived in my apartment, I had one of those outdoor hallways. Had to go
Yeah.
grill by the storage unit.
Right? Like, what am
Yeah.
I just gonna take my grill downstairs?
They gave me a little sweetener. Like they raised my rent that year, but they gave me a little sweetener. So they said, "Well, we're raising your rent. We'll give you a storage unit."
Okay. Well, that's
Like,
nice.
All right. But I got to keep a grill in there, which was nice. I could go grill at my storage unit, which was across from my apartment.
Nice. That's similar. They raised my rent and just
That's
told me
too
to
much
shut up.
travel. Like I didn't own a grill if I had to go through all that trouble. Can't do it like you want to. Nah.
Mm.
Nah.
Yeah.
I made it work.
You go, boy.
I'm
I
more
made
than
it work.
sure you did.
I made it work.
That's what scares me about anything that you do.
It was a close set. It was a close set.
It's a close set.
Oh man. Speaking of a close set, see what happens at this UFC press conference later. There's going to be some major shenanigans, possibly between Dricus Du Plessis and Sean Strickland. But it's time for some interview shirts. If you guys missed him earlier on in the show, DDP, he was a delight. Talk a little fighting. Coming up with him next. Dricus Du Plessis is going to be fighting UFC 297 this week. He's fighting for the mother bleeping belt. Dricus, thanks for the time, man. How are you? Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. How's Canada?
Hey, what's James? Oh, thanks for having me, man. Canada is amazing. It's been great. Listen, being from South Africa, we are not used to that weather. Let me tell you that much.
Well, down here in Miami, we're not either, dude.
But I mean, it's a nice change of pace. I like it. I really do. I'm even staying a couple of days extra to really enjoy it, throw some snowballs at people, see what I can get.
How is it, because you may do some things outdoors. Do you is it all confined to indoors now because of the weather there in Canada?
Yeah, yesterday, not by choice, I didn't see the outside of this building. It was just media. Damn. I mean, I woke up because we're fighting at midnight. Had to change up the sleeping schedule.
Okay.
Because we're fighting Vegas time. So we're on East Coast right now. So
yeah.
With the time difference, I'm fighting. Usually we would fight at 10 p.m. and now I'm fighting at midnight. And I mean, fighting at 10 p.m. is late for me. I'm a guy that goes to sleep at 9, 10 in the evening. So right now I'm going to sleep about 1 a.m. to train between 9 and 10 to get my body firing at night. And that's been something. But yesterday, I mean, I woke up at 9 a.m. They were pissed at me because I had my first interview at 9, but I just moved it to 9:30. I said, guys, sleep is the priority right now. And I was busy with media up until 4 p.m. straight. And I mean, it's great because that means we are the center of attention, and that's what we're here for, man. Being a main event and selling this fight. I love it. I love it. Being on the poster, being the poster boy for this fight. It's my first time in the UFC. It's a massive milestone for me, for South Africa. I'm loving it.
Is it more difficult than people would lead on the change in time? Like you said, you're used to fighting earlier. You're used to going to bed earlier. Is it hard? Is it that hard of a transition to get your body acclimated to fighting at midnight?
Yeah. So I have the flying and the schedule in terms of traveling, because I mean, South Africa, if you're going to fight in South America, North America, it doesn't really matter. Anywhere in the world, South Africa is central, and Africa is central. It's far away from everywhere. So wherever, if I'm not flying north, if I'm flying east or west, it's a lot of time zones. It's a lot of time zones. So that we always make sure we get the right timing. Flying out at least 2 weeks for this one because it's 7-hour time difference. And with Vegas, I'll do even closer to 3 weeks because it's 10 hours. But then, changing your sleeping schedule around that, we start doing that at home already. The week before I go, I'll wake up, I'll train at 3 a.m. in the mornings in South Africa.
Right.
Or 2 a.m. and then I'll go to sleep at 7 a.m.
Right.
So we make sure we sort that out because the sleep is such an important part. But if you have to start, that's one thing. But if you start, changing the sleeping times that I'm doing over years, the sleeping schedule of going to sleep at the latest by 10 p.m., waking up at 6 a.m. That is your two extremes, where sometimes I sleep at 9 p.m. and I wake up at 5, but that is my schedule. To change that into going to sleep at 1 a.m., that's difficult because my body at 1 a.m., I can be out partying, having the time of my life, standing on a bar doing shots outside of a fight camp. When that clock hits 10, I go like this. What's the time? It doesn't.
Well, listen, hey, Dricus, if you win the belt, there's going to be a lot of people that
my best life.
If you end up winning the belt, there's going to be a lot of people that want to party with the champ. You're going to have to go to caffeine or something, man. You're going to have to maybe push through once you get to there's going to be people who want to party past 10 if you win the belt.
Yeah, bro, I'll just do some espresso shots or something the whole time. And that's it. I'm going to have a beer in one hand and espresso shots. But, for me, so, I mean, we got that. We got that right for the past 10 days. We've been training at 9, between 8 and 9 p.m. Here in the hotel gym, and then sleeping all the way till 9, 10 a.m. It's been great. It's different, but we got that. Obviously, the later the better. But the climatizing. I don't think people put enough value on that. I've seen that a lot, with myself included.
Dricus Du Plessis is going to be fighting for the middleweight championship. Get UFC 297 on ESPN Plus pay-per-view. Now, you guys have had a hell of a lead up to this fight, DDP. If you could explain as cleanly as possible, we're live. I don't want my bosses mad at me, but the melee cage side, when you guys are going after it, did you feel like it was going to get to a crescendo where he leaps after you? Did you sense it was going that way, or was it when you guys are in the middle of that? Because our boy Gilbert Burns, like his kids, they got to get moved out of the way when you guys are going after it. Did you sense it was going to get to that point where you guys are actually coming to blows before the fight?
No. You don't expect that from a middleweight champion of the world, to be honest. But we are. I said this. We are fighters. We are warriors, and unfortunately, we live in a society. And listen, make no mistake, this is not the image that I want to portray to the world about MMA fighters or the UFC. You know, I have a company to represent, the most prestige company in the world, and I'm very honored to work for and to represent the UFC. So that is not the image that I want out there for us as athletes or as a company in the UFC. You know, these guys just fighting in the middle of the crowd where people pay a lot of money to go, and you know, there's kids, and you know, the example we set. But unfortunately, and even though we as fighters don't like to admit this, we have the warrior gene. We have that fighter in us, and it's always going to be there. You know, no fighter ever just got into fighting the first time in his life he fought was in a ring. Unfortunately not. You have to have it here. You have that somewhere. Even any athlete, any football player, American football players, I bet you they've been in quite a few fights in their lives, because you have to be able to go fight for what you want. And unfortunately, that situation, you know, it was unfortunate because the fight could have been in jeopardy, and that we didn't set a good example. We didn't. And you know, that's the bad about this. But the good about this is, well, call it the good. I know Sean Strickland is the kind of guy who goes out there and he will defend himself and defend his manlyhood and defend his alpha male. He is an alpha male, and I'm an alpha male. And that's what you get if you get two alphas. There's only one leader of the pack. And you know, things boiled over. We were in that proximity. If we were far away from each other, it wouldn't have been a problem. But you know, right there, it was about, this is my circle, and if you cross that line, and lines were crossed.
Are you concerned, or do you have a sense that, because the press conference is today, right? So you know this press, they're going to badger you guys. They're going to try and almost lead into that. Do you have to mentally go into today making sure, like, I know that the game of this is people are going to try and get reactions out of us. We're going to get reactions out of each other. And in a sense, because you just want to get to the fight. The most important thing is to go and get to the championship fight. Even though that stuff is, you know, people, it sells fights, it makes the fight for business and all that. The biggest goal is just to get to Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, yeah, that's it. But that's our responsibility as athletes. That falls on us. Press is going to do what the press does. They want clickbait, they want headlines, they want the scoop. You know, everybody loves the drama. The previous press conference was for the drama they got. The previous, when I was in Vegas, for that presser and for fight night, the drama they wanted, they got it, and the rest they'll get on Saturday night. Tonight we have a press conference. I have no intention of going in there and fighting with Sean Strickland. I have that on Saturday night, except if they say, "Cool, we'll give you your show purse and your win purse if you win this fight on stage tonight." Sure, yeah, we can do it right there.
Oh man, yeah, that's the biggest thing is
we don't associate. We can do it, but and the belt must be on the line. That's the most important part. But you know, for me, right now, this is not. The previous press conference was funny. I had a great time. It was entertaining the people on a mic. Or none of that makes none of that matters anymore. No, nothing matters. What we say, you can win as far as you want on the mic tonight. It's a matter of 48 hours. And we're going to see who really wins.
He's a tough style fighter to kind of figure out. He's a little bit weird. People say it's tough to mimic that in camp. How did you prepare for this one? Just going up against Sean, knowing he's maybe not your typical style. Going in there, you seem like a very prepared fighter. I imagine that you've covered every basis to get ready for this one.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and like I said, my team is very capable. We watched his fights. We we did all the studying we can do, but I mean, that's such a small part of the game. We mimicked his style, looked at his strong points, looked at his weak points, but ultimately it's about going out there and doing what you do as a fighter. I know Sean is a guy who doesn't watch tape. They say he doesn't watch tape, but I understand that. I can see that, how that works. It's not something that you're not going to be able to perform without doing that. For me personally, I read guys. I can read mannerisms. I can see, like when Izzy fought him, I could see Izzy was off just because of his mannerisms, the timing on his shots. If I watch you enough, I know exactly what you're going to do when you do it. I know your twitches. I know when that hand moves, you're throwing that punch. I know the amount of times you set up. I can start reading those. And that's because I love the sport so much, of watching hours and hours and hours of fight tape. But preparing for Sean Strickland, the most important preparation that we did, and for every single fight, is going out there and fighting like Dricus, not fighting on the reaction of Sean Strickland, not reacting to what he does, but making him react to what I do. And that's going to be the big factor in this fight. It's two very awkward styles. Everybody has labeled me as fighting very awkwardly, fighting very weird. It's a very different style to what people are used to, and the same with him. So you have two complete opposite styles. He has this calm volume style, not a lot of power punches, but effective. He doesn't get hit, and he hits people, and that's a great thing to have. I mean, that's the name of fighting. Try and hit somebody and not get hit. He does that very well. But I hit more than he does. I do get hit a little bit more than he does, but with him being able to hit me and not being able to knock people out, he has the ability to knock anybody out. Make no mistake. Just he's not that prone to it. If I hit you, there's a very big probability you're going down. So it's going to come down to two weird styles and who's going to enforce their swing left or right. And I'm there to make sure that my style is enforced, and he's going to come and do the same. And what does that usually create? A clash in the middle of the cage, and a lot of money's worth for the fans.
Before we get you out of here, DDP, so like, how do you, if it goes the way you picture it in your mind, you finishing this thing quick? We getting a quick finish? If you're yourself, you usually get people out of there quickly. That's how Dricus Du Plessis has been doing business. I know this is your first 5-round fight. Everybody makes a big deal out of it. Does this even go 5? Are you picturing 1-2, you're going to get them out of there?
Yeah, I'm taking this fight round by round once again. Obviously, fighting 5 rounds is something any fighter should consider, but it doesn't help you worry about round 4 and 5, but you lose round 1, 2, and 3. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be in a situation where you lose round 1 and 2 because you're worried about round 4 and 5, and you start to think about winning round 3, because now your opponent has momentum. Now, yeah, you have a gas tank, great. Now you have a little bit more left in the tank, but your opponent's confidence is through the roof. Yours is down. You have a cut. You understand what I'm saying when I say the first order of business is the first minute of the first round. The last order of business is the last minute of the last round. And taking it as it comes, fighting each minute to win each minute, to win each round, and taking it as it comes. Because if I'm going to be worrying about round 5 in the first round, I'm going to be losing round 1.
Right.
And, if you lose a round, you lose a round. That's it. But you can't be worrying about the next round and the next round. Worry about the round you are in and making sure that you are as effective as you possibly can be in round 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Good luck this weekend, man. Thank you so much for joining us. Dricus Du Plessis.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
He's